delete that other video for me, Master of YouTube, Chuck, over there?
I will, but I mean the link is the same. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah.
The live stream link is just.
I think we're actually here now, by the way. So hi.
Oh, we are.
I think
we're online?
we are not dropping frames at the moment.
No frame drops.
No dropping
Keep
frames.
them frames.
Hey y'all. Hey, what?
We've been framed.
Don't hand dance at me.
Get it?
We appear to be online.
Speak manning, you know.
Oh, that thing that he never used.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Kenpo.
Man, you look like a fucking idiot doing that.
Good.
Without sound. I'm like, what the hell are you
It's getting kind of hectic.
Uh-huh.
I am a fucking idiot. Get it straight, Chuck.
Fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot. We're fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
All right, I think
All
I
right.
closed that
We're
now.
online?
We are on the line, yes.
Okay.
I guess the chat went away.
Hi, chat.
The old chat.
It pops up. It takes some time now.
Oh.
That's a new thing. It's a new feature. Delayed chat pop.
That's pretty good.
It's like crowd pop, but it's chattier.
Is it like cheap heat?
Did someone tweet it?
I did.
Link
I tweeted it.
Where's the tweets?
I trust Chuck for the tweets.
Did
You tweeted like earlier?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
It's the same
He tweeted
link.
it like the instant you hit. The instant you hit post, Chuck was like, retweet.
Fine. Retweet. I had the tweet ready.
RT, please, RT.
The tweet was inside of you the entire time.
Get it out. Get that tweet out.
Instant.
We got to address how he enters the room.
We do. That's not that. This is the live stream. Intersecting the actual live stream.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Meta.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no.
So very meta.
John Cena's having shoulder surgery tomorrow.
No.
What?
Oh, no.
Is everybody in fucking WWE's roster going to have shoulder surgery?
Yep.
That's how they're going to bring in the good talent and squash them.
It's a good thing I'm following John Cena on Twitter. Otherwise, I would not have known this.
Yes.
Retweet this so everyone knows.
Does he do weird Twitter, or
No, he's
Is he just like-
he's super nice guy.
does he post every once in a while and tell you to believe in yourself or some shit?
He does weird Instagram.
Yeah.
His Instagram is
Yeah.
apparently fucking
But Twitter is he hashtagged his shoulder surgery with never give up.
Wait, you took all my Slurpee cups? Why do you have...
I don't know why
jacked
they're
over
here.
there?
I brought this in here.
Oh.
The Rock is mine.
Slurpee cup. What's on the
Can't
other
see
one?
him. The Rock
The
is...
Baroness is mine.
Burner.
Which one is that? One of the...
Baroness.
Baroness, yeah.
Baroness.
Baroness.
Bear Ness.
Baroness.
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 Now, what's her name? She was
the
in
Slurpee
American
cup.
Sniper. I don't know. The girl that was her. That was Baroness chicken. The one that was in American Sniper, the wife.
Is that Sienna Miller or something?
Allie
like that?
McGraw.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, Sienna Miller.
What?
Yeah, that.
It's called a slant rhyme.
Oh. Racist?
So bad.
Jeez.
So bad. So, how about a plot summary?
Yeah, I have one. I just don't, whoosh.
Uh-huh.
Whoosh. Whooshu. Timpo. Something. I don't know. I'm trying to get it shorter. Fuck it. I'm just going to read it.
Fuck it.
Do it live.
Okay.
Are we good? We bantering for a while until
we've
people show up?
Yeah.
Bantered a good long while.
We
Yeah?
have not bantered enough.
No. There's never enough bantering. Oh, yeah. Show notes. You made show notes. So I need to look at those.
Sure.
That was the other thing I needed to open up.
Shotes.
That way we will know when things happened in the movie.
Right.
Like when Jeff Speakman hit that guy with something.
What the fuck is going on over there?
He's Cena-ing over
Oh, I thought you were Scrappy doing over there.
No.
Scrappy Doo!
Yeah.
Let me at him.
Absolutely not. I would never.
Power. Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo sucks. Scrappy Doo sucks. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of the rolling of the tongue.
Right.
Ba-da-ba-doo.
Like, wow.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Bump up.
Like if it hadn't have been forgotten, hi Joe.
That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
206 episodes to be exact.
If it had been for Cotton Eye Joe, you would have made that reference a long time ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, BMF chat, what's going on, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys.
All right, I reckon we should probably start this thing. This theme year.
Yeah. We should get this year going.
This year does need to be gotten.
91
Got a long way to go.
Yes.
91.
Oh, boy.
miles to go before we sleep.
Doing it again.
Forever.
What is wrong with us?
Sorry to bring the mood down when I reminded you about the start of a new theme year.
God damn it.
I know.
We were free.
We were free.
We were finally free.
Is all the podcast.
I want to join Mackie in the Hood Club.
I don't have a hood.
You should get a hood. You know?
If I only had a hood.
Do you want me to go get you a hood?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
All right.
Just a hood, though.
Oh, yeah, just a hood? Yeah. I don't have those. Thankfully.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Let's start talking about something else now.
All right.
Jesus.
No, I don't want to talk about him either. That's really just quite as controversial,
Come on.
Chuck.
He's the reason for the season.
He's not.
He's the reason for 1991.
It's not. It's the
He is not the
Earth's
reason
proximity
for the
to the
season.
sun being farther away than normal.
Nah.
That's the reason for the season.
Yeah, the winter solstice.
No, we're closer to the sun in the winter. It's the angle of this
Oh,
tilt.
okay. It's the angle. Of the
Angle the dangle. Am I right? All right. This guy knows what I'm talking about. That guy right there, third row. Yeah, I see you shaking your head.
What is wrong with us? What's wrong with us?
That guy gets it. It's a penis joke
Oh, thanks.
for all you who didn't get it.
Oh, you're talking about dicks.
Yeah.
Oh, dicks!
Dicks.
You talking about a phallus?
You talking
Penis.
about dicks?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hey, get that. Hey, you want to do a podcast?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Nope, let's talk about dicks.
Oh, dicks?
No.
All right.
I don't want to do that.
Dicks.
Let's get this dumpster fuck on the road.
Did you say dumpster fuck?
I did.
I would have also accepted dumpster fire.
I know. It's worse than a dumpster fire. Dumpster fire has something good going for it. The dumpster fuck doesn't have anything good going for
Well, it is a fuck, I guess.
it. Eh.
That was so stupid it got me.
I just enjoy coining terrible phrases. Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now that we got all the funny out,
Yep.
let's start the podcast.
That's true. Can't have any of that on there.
That's another language lesson for Alina in
Language lesson.
Iceland.
Yeah. Dumpster
She even
fuck.
watches the live stream. I think she only does the podcast.
Ooh.
Chuck would have to edit this in as bonus content.
Hashtag dumpster fuck.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh,
Hey.
oh, hey. Oh,
Hot,
sorry.
hot
Hey,
sounds.
hot mic.
Hey.
Hot
mic.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
Flemmy.
I'm good. I'm good.
R.I.P. Flemmy.
All right. Welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 306.
Woo!
Nintendo.
Woot.
And the start of another theme year.
Yay! 91!
But
Obviously, the 25th anniversary of 1991 is now upon us.
The golden year of movies.
Yes.
the other golden year of movies.
No, it's the only golden year of movies because we burned 1990 to the ground.
Oh, that's right.
Fired it into the sun.
R.I.P. 1990. Lil 90. So, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks. But the bad movies doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and douchebags after Twilight. Boo. So, 1991, Ugh. Yeah, Mazel Tov. It's a way to start off 1991. We're doing The Perfect Weapon, starring Jeff Speakman.
The perfect way to start off the perfect
way.
year.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
With
Jeff
the perfect
Speakman
actor
is
on the perfect
Weapon.
podcast.
Yes. Plot summary.
Okay.
It's a little bit longer than normal, but we're just going to roll with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeff, a juvenile delinquent, is enrolled in his father in a Kinpo school in the hopes of teaching the young boy some self-discipline. Years later, Jeff's mentor Kim is being threatened by one of the Korean mafia families. Jeff tries to help out his old friend, but it's too late to prevent Kim's death at the hands of an unknown hitman. Vowing revenge, Jeff takes on all of the families using his martial arts skills to find the men who killed his friend.
Yeah. Jeff.
All right. Yeah. Jeff. Playing Jeff.
Jeff. It's easy for him to remember. His first starring role. You
Jeff,
gotta,
he's
Jeff Man.
yeah.
Tony Danzang.
You gotta really make sure he's focused on what's important. Mm-hmm. Punching and kicking dudes.
Man.
A lot.
Does he ever?
Oh, yeah.
But we have to address, before the movie...
How he enters the room?
But not only how he is, but how the movie enters itself is... they don't do the Jeff Speakman is
No.
Oh, right.
the perfect weapon,
No.
which is incredibly disappointing to me.
It is.
It's got a good logo, though.
It is a good logo.
Like, weapon is pretty much written in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great weapon. It's a good-looking title.
Pretty good looking title.
Yeah. But that's not what's important.
No. What's important is...
Jeff Speakman.
He's got the power.
Yes.
He does. He does have the power.
power.
Which we're treated
Oh,
to.
snap.
Snaps the power.
Yeah.
This is a slightly different version of I've got the power.
It's just edited down.
Yeah.
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 But it's actually like more like the original version, right? Not the one
Yeah.
you hear now because of lawsuits.
Yeah, the bullshit one with terrible lyrics.
Yeah. Somebody claimed they wrote the song, they won, and now you basically don't hear the snap version most of the time. Most places.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically all of the harmonizing and singing that's in.
Yeah.
Certain parts of it are gone, and
It's
it's
weird.
a bad rap that's not as good.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
But anyway,
But
he's practicing his Kenpo moves to this.
Yeah.
He's doing a little dance to himself.
In his sweet studio apartment in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yep. As we get credits.
Yeah.
You know.
Tells us all the people who were in the movie, who made the movie.
Yeah, which is basically...
Yeah, which is typically what credits do.
Well, I mean, and the movie is basically full of every Asian that guy you can think of just about.
Yes, including many BMFcast alums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
we'll get to that as they
and the
probably
director
pop
of Kickboxer.
Yes. Very
Which
important.
this is his only other movie, which is weird. He only did this in Kickboxer.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey man,
I'm out.
what more do I have to say
I am out.
That's all I got.
to this world?
Yeah.
I gave you Kickboxer. I gave you the perfect weapon.
I'm out.
Leave me alone. I'm going to my chalet."
Is Gene Chalet. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's like he does this little dancey practice thing to the power, and then it's off to let's go see Kim and his shakedown.
Well, he stops doing that and puts on his sweaty robe.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
And then decides to call his friend Kim.
Okay, yes.
Robe.
His friend Kim, played by Mako.
Let's put it this way: his robe, like his cool down robe, is basically just like a giant terry cloth robe, which is just
Which
going
is
to
a
make you,
hot ass robe.
yeah, it's just going to make you sweat like a
Yeah,
mofo.
that
And then-
robe can't smell good.
No, but yes, he calls Kim Mako.
Right.
And-
And Mako's getting shaken down.
Yeah.
Shook down.
He's mid shakedown,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
but he's
The,
a shakedown E.
yes.
He's not the shakedowner.
No, he owns a store full of antiquities.
We've seen this sort of thing before,
Uh-huh.
like in the Jitters.
The jitters.
He had that-
Exactly.
He had that amazing store full of amazing items.
Yeah, he's got a store full of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Korean mafia guy in there who's like, "Come on, let us use your store." And Mako's like, "No, I know what you're up to."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and,
you will not run drugs through my store.
and then that's when the phone rings, and he picks it up, and as he's talking on the phone, that's when the other guy is still hassling him.
Yeah.
Well, he finally says something very clear, like, "Hey, you're not going to get away from us. We're going to hide our drugs here, whether you like it or not."
Yeah.
Crash. Click the phone. So like that's all Speakman hears. It's like, oh shit.
Got to go help my friend, but it's going to take a long time to get there, so we need something to pass the time.
It's time for some backstory.
Yep. So he's hopped in his Ford Mustang convertible, heading down the highway to Los Angeles, and just thinking back to his entire life.
Yeah. Yeah,
His life is flashing before his eyes.
Yeah,
on
he has a
this-
good long
on this
think while he
drive.
drives.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he's just off in his own world.
Yeah, first he's we find only by dialogue that he's about 10 years old. His mom has just died, and he's basically rebelling. His dad is a cop, and he's just rebelling, and the dad's like, I can't take it anymore. And he's talking to slightly younger, movie-wise, Mako.
Right.
And he's like, I just can't take it anymore. He's too rambunctious. He's got too much, fight and hate in him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking about sending him to a military school whose specialty is discipline.
Right.
As opposed to the lackadaisical
Yeah.
Yeah,
military
just,
school.
the
As opposed
carefree...
to the party military school.
That's like the ones where stripes,
Yes, exactly.
they came from. Yeah.
that Caddyshack military school.
And Mako's like, well, you know what? I got another school that might, give him some self discipline.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can take him to this Kimpo school. So
He does.
yeah, basically it becomes he goes there and he gets a belt, basically a belt progression montage. I mean, first it's like he's not doing very well, and there's a girl there, and it's like.
Jennifer.
They do this thing like they line up and like I guess it's like training exercise. Like the person to their left like smacks to the person to the right in the stomach, just down this line. They all stay in a line and then just like whack each other in the stomach until
It's a beatdown.
Yeah, Jennifer like smacks him in the stomach. He goes down. He's like, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting that."
Yeah.
She helps him up, and then
Sensei
it's
says Jennifer.
yeah. Then it's like it's a progression of like him
Pick
getting
that
better and
dumbass up.
not falling down
Right.
when he gets punched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toughen up.
And
son
yeah,
of a
and it's
bitch.
like it's zoom in on the white belt and like it's like yellow belt and green belt.
Well,
and
and
it
he's
goes
doing,
up.
Does some spin kicks.
Yeah, he's doing roundhouse kicks.
kicks.
Yeah.
And
And
as
he-
he does each, it
Yeah.
switches to a new belt.
He goes all the way up to brown, and then the camera pulls back out, and he's now a teenager.
Right.
So he's just been spinning for years. Can I please stop now? I'm 18.
Jeff Spinman.
So yeah, now he's just, average 1991 looking teenager guy who
Well,
everyone
sure, he's
still
a few
thinks.
years-
Yeah, even though he's
younger.
supposed that's
No,
supposed to
I
be
know.
way
I'm just
earlier.
saying actor wise,
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
haircut looks like that era. And, it seems like an okay guy, and he's now a pole vaulter
Yeah.
in high school.
Well, no, like doesn't he get his black belt first? I think because doesn't he get the ring and everything? And
Oh, that's
like,
right, yeah.
He's walking with it, like he's learned everything. He's like pretty much ready to take on the world, and he's walking with his little brother through the schoolyard and some football guys. He's pole vaulting,
Yes.
while his brother's like cheering him on, and like it's like the only one that's apparently part of the track and field team,
Right.
And
Just
the football
one
guys
man.
are like, get off our field, and he's just like not. He's just like, all right, fine, I start walking, and the little brother gets mouthy as little brothers are wont to do.
He
like-
becomes hype man.
Yeah.
He's like, don't talk to my brother that way. He will murder you with his one foot.
right.
And the football player's just not having it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, he will he? Well, let's see about that. And he's like, hey, shut up, kid. Come on.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's not
He's
worth
like,
it.
I don't need to get in a fight.
Yeah.
But of course the kid's like, no. Like even as they're walking away, the kid's like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Flips a finger at him, and the football player backhands him.
Yeah.
Backhands the little kid.
Bloodies his nose.
That little kid, that little kid now is like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And so he's like, hey, and basically like triple kicks this dude so bad that like the guy's in full football gear.
Yeah.
That he ends up like breaking the face mask off the dude. Like he's just roundhouse kicking him into the face.
Yeah, and at first we thought he killed him.
Yeah, because it seems that way. Because he goes limp, and the coach comes over and is like, he's non-responsive.
Call an ambulance. Call Will Smith.
And so, Dad's picking him up like at out, or I assume he got pulled in for for almost
Attempted
murdering
murder.
a kid. Yeah, and it's just like, all right, that's the last straw. You were supposed to get better with this, not worse. Now not only are you still have a rage problem, now you're a deadly weapon. He doesn't say perfect weapon. Yet. He's just now you're dangerous.
Yeah.
That's right, Dad.
That's right, Dad.
I am.
I should have sent you to that party military school.
Right. Then you at least would know how to party.
Right.
It's just so weird, though, because he's the most mild-mannered teenager.
Right.
He's just like, well, yeah,
He really
whatever.
is.
And just the dad is just like, God, you are just the worst. I can't handle just murdering everyone you meet and just get out of my sight. You're the
Well, yeah,
worst.
well, he kicks him out and he says like he wants him to have zero contact with
Yeah.
his younger brother. He can't have him influencing his brother.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, that kid wants to be you.
Now, it looks like he's old enough to just about be graduating high school, but I'm not entirely sure what he does after this because
He just becomes Jeff Speakman.
does he just go wander the earth? Because I mean, it seems like he's like goes to the Kimpole school, and for a second is like, am I going to live here? Am I going to go live with Mako? I don't know where he lives.
He just odd job. Well, I mean, because like that first shot of the movie is him like working construction. So
Sure.
like he basically never did anything. He just
I guess he just came from kung fu and walked the earth.
yes,
All right.
yeah.
So
But he meets. Is that when he gets told about the dragon and the tiger?
there is a
Head of the
story about
dojo?
how you've learned the tiger, but you won't know the dragon. I can't teach you the dragon. You got to go out in the world and learn the dragon.
Right. That's the last
got
time we
you've
see.
got
You go
to
enter the
imagine the dragon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
You like Imagine Dragons?
Yeah, pretty good.
that's neat. But yeah, that's the last time we see teenage.
Imagine
Jeff
the
Speakman.
dragon. D's nuts.
Oh, okay. I just did.
That's how it goes, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and poetic like
You
that.
got it on your face.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Imagine the dragon. D's nuts
Yeah,
upon thy visage.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's a poem, right?
that's dope.
Yes. I think that was a haiku.
It rhymes.
What'd you call me?
Haiku.
Racist.
Hi.
What?
Who?
What happened? Oh, yeah. So
I derailed the podcast.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what-
cool.
He learned about the dragons.
Right. He learned that he has to go learn the dragon out in the
Yeah.
world,
Uh-huh.
which he never really does. Like, come to
Well,
think about
and
it,
it kind of feels like
that never comes
he
up
got-
again.
It's weird because it's like he doesn't really get kicked out at that point, but everyone like from the dojo, like whenever they see him in the future of the movie, they're like, "Oh no,
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, you almost killed a guy.
He's only a tiger. Don't look at him.
Yeah.
Can't.
yeah."
can't
But
teach a
I mean, his
dragger
parting
new
is very
tigers.
is rather amicable.
Yeah.
But later on in the movie, they make it seem like, "Oh no, you don't even get near us, guy."
Yeah, which we find out later by reading information about the movie is basically all the shit is cut out from when he returns to the dojo. So that's why it's weird. Everyone is just basically looking at him like, oh, stay away from trouble, that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he eventually shows up at Kim's shop because now he's done flashbacking and has arrived at the
Yeah.
location. And it's just like the
It's mid shakedown.
Yeah,
no,
again.
no. It's the best way to enter it because
absolutely.
he has
Yeah.
refused the
we
first
got
guy.
to address how he
Yeah.
enters the shop.
He's refused the first set of people who have called upon his establishment as a housing facility.
Yep.
And now they come back with. Actually, I don't even think he comes in with a weapon. He just sees a push broom and is like, oh, that's a staff. I'll just unscrew this and start beating the shit out of your wares.
yeah, because they're all just like, oh, you have
Oh,
a
that's-
lot
that's-
of nice
that's-
things in
that's
your
This is a
expensive
nice
looking vase.
antique Ming vase, probably 10,000 years old and priceless.
Yes.
Smash.
Instead of just taking it and increasing our net worth, I'll just smash it. Yeah.
It was probably made in China
Well,
in a factory.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
I was going to say,
not thousands of years ago.
Ming vases probably were.
yes.
also made in China.
They were.
Either way.
but handmade.
They're doing the whole "we're going to smash up your shop"
Right.
thing.
And then they start working on the window, like with the broomstick. So guys like, haha, through the, because he's got one of those like little panes of window kind of windows, and so he puts one through and he's like, haha, see, I just busted your window.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
And we don't even know Jeff Speaksman's here.
Nope.
But he's outside, grabs the broom handle that is now sticking through the window and goes yoink, yoink, and defenestrates the guy from the side that he comes busting through, which
Yeah.
I think is a BMFcast first.
I can't remember that happening.
I mean, because usually a defenestration happens on the glass
Yeah, you've been
inside,
kicked.
not the
Sometimes-
glass outside.
Sometimes you go outside to inside. I've seen inside to outside, but I've never seen somebody
Right.
pulled through.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's pulling him glass side out.
Yeah. Pulled through. That's a new one, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good intro.
We need a Wikipedia page for our
So
defenestration.
like a pre-fenestration. I don't know. It's something else.
Either way,
Yeah.
he yanks this guy through the window and
Yep.
then comes in and just proceeds to beat the shit out of these guys
And destroy more of the store.
and destroy half the store. Like he's got the broom in his hand and somebody breaks it in half because they've got some kind of pipe or something, and then he's like, oh. And he gets that look on his face.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
he's got the big stick thing that the guy busts, and he's just like, oh, now it's one of these. Awesome. Check out what I'm going to do to you. Fucks that guy up. Yeah, he just cleans house.
Yeah.
Well, he breaks house.
I was going to say he breaks some things, but
Yeah.
ultimately cleans the bad guys up.
Yes.
And this is the first time you really realize how much the sound guy is working on this movie, because like he's got every kick, every hit, just a huge bass thump.
It's good.
It's pumped up exactly where you want it. So every hit just sounds like, just this bassy, nasty, painful sounding thing.
This movie gets it in terms of let's make this dude a star, because it keeps his weaknesses to a minimum and accentuates everything that they want him to be. So anytime he swings around or punches or kicks or anything, it is the best sound design for him.
But he's not completely Cobra-fied. Like, he takes some punches and stuff.
Oh, sure,
but it's,
yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like He's not completely impenetrable.
No,
he's pretty close.
He is super confident in his abilities, but he's not invincible by any means. In every fight he's in, he gets a good fair share of ass kicking.
Also, Speakman doing these.
Yes,
like it's if there are any stuntmen, they hid them very well because usually you can see his face and you can see him doing this stuff.
Yeah, he's doing it.
It's definitely Speakman doing it,
and he's convincing as fuck. I mean, he is the perfect weapon.
Yep,
you wouldn't expect it. So,
but yeah,
basically, like, he's like, all right, you got to get out of here because, I'll go apologize. I'm sorry about all this, like, but you being here will make them think that I've brought in outside muscle. And there's a little kid there too, like a teenage kid who's like, oh shit, you're fucked now. You just like took on the golden fist.
Well, Jeff was gonna attack the kid too, thinking he was part of it.
Right, sure.
And Kim's like, whoa, no, he's with me.
Yeah. But basically, he's like, oh, you're fucked, guy, because you just messed with the Golden Fist. You're basically Korean mafia.
Yeah.
You're fucked. You should probably get out of here. And then basically, Mako says a nicer version of it, like, yeah, they're going to think you're hired muscle, well, because you're you, and look at you, and I'm going to be in more trouble if you're here, so you better just leave, and I'll go talk to him and apologize.
Right.
And I guess.
And that's pretty much the plan.
I liked that little exchange. He's like, I've never heard of the Golden Fist, and the shopkeep's name, who I can't remember.
Kim,
yeah. He's like, you've never been Korean.
That's right.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they go walking down the street, and that's what he basically explains all this, and is like, I don't know, guess go walk it off or whatever. I'm going to go home and tidy up. I mean, they're nailing up boards because they nail up
they fix the store window, and then they go upstairs to his apartment, and Kim's like, well, I got to turn in. I got a long day of apologizing tomorrow. Right. And Jeff's like, I want to go walk off this murder of aggression that I have. I need to get it out. So yeah, that's he goes out and just walks the streets. Mm-hmm. Is that when he walks by the dojo and sees the girl who's now the lady from Law and Order?
Yeah, Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, and it's just like they kind of look at each other, and then nothing happens. And you're like, all right, well, that's certainly that'll play off later because she's in the credits.
Yeah,
something will happen there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just walking.
And this is when we're introduced to Professor Toru Tanaka,
BMFcast alum
from martial law.
Yeah,
and other things too.
Yeah,
he was just in
martial law.
No, but I mean, he was in something else too. Was that the only one?
He's been in other stuff, but that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But he finds the guys who have had the shit kicked out of them by Speakman, and they're all like bandaged up, and their arm is, in a sling.
They're having a staff meeting.
Yeah.
They're all just in various degrees of injury.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the only real knowledge this imparts is because Toru Tanaka never says anything throughout the entire movie.
No.
But he pulls like a little.
I think he did at the very end.
Okay,
he's saying things, but it's not.
But it's not like he has
dialogue.
It's
but
supposed
he pulls
to be
out a little,
Korean or whatever.
Yeah, he pulls out a little flower out of his lapel, and the one guy goes, no,
right,
no, and then he gets killed by Tanaka.
Yeah, who puts the flower on him?
Because
that's his calling card.
Mm-hmm. And then he leaves.
Yeah,
and then the next time we see him is old man Kim is sleeping upstairs, and you just hear this crash.
Here's this crunch sound.
Yeah, and he's like, huh, and that's when Tanaka walks in the room, pulls a flower out, puts it on his lapel, and then walks into the camera for a cut.
Yes. We're like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole ramp up is just like, oh, Mako, you were so dead. Because everything's like, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine.
He's totally 2 weeks into retirement.
Yeah.
He's
got a pregnant wife. It's just like,
he is so like, everything's going to be fine. I'll
take
smooth
care of
it over.
Yeah.
I've been here for years. This doesn't make any. We're like, oh, you're so dead.
Yeah. And
they
he's so
get
dead.
to it.
Yeah, right away.
This movie doesn't waste any time.
Nope. But the great thing is like, we hear the crash of how Toru Tanaka, or he's just called Tanaka in the movie, like how he enters the room, but like we don't really see it until like
we have to address how he enters the room.
Until like basically Speakman gets back and is like, oh shit, what's going on? Because there's a Tanaka size hole in the woods, that they just put up through.
He's just exploded through there.
I mean, it's not quite so comical, like every little piece of it, but it's
clearly he just pushed his way through.
Tanaka sized breaking of all that wood.
Yeah. So it's basically Speakman goes in and is like, oh, Kim's dead.
Yeah, and he sees the little flower sitting on Kim, and he's like, no.
And then here's a car starting up and runs after it, and he runs for like a couple of blocks and keeps up on it. And we're like, wow, this is like weird if he's going to catch up on foot to this car, but eventually
he lethal weapons the car.
Yeah.
He's like, come here, it's like I'm going to catch you because weapon,
right?
But then doesn't because physics, and he's just like, son of a bitch, and just like he stops, turns around, and there's just two gang members.
Well, he gets
standing
angry
there.
and punches like a roll door that's
Yes.
over a shop.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody's home, chief, like,
Yeah.
except for us. And muggers just show up and like want to fuck with him.
Yeah,
And it's
they're
two
like,
guys
"Hey,
at
man,
first.
Yeah.
Give us the wallet.
And
Yeah.
then like he's just like, nah, not worth my time. It turns to leave, and then there's two guys on the other side.
It's like you picked the wrong
Yeah,
week
well-
to start walking around.
Another he pulls out his wallet and he's just like, "You want my wallet here?" Ah! And he throws it down on the ground, but in the same motion, just grabs the dude's arm with the knife.
Yep.
And like in one swipe, basically like kicks two of them, punches another. I mean, he annihilates these guys,
In like seconds.
Yeah, in less than 5 seconds, they're all down.
and it looks legitimate.
Yeah.
Like the way he does it.
Yeah. It's practically a Batman movie. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
It's like, oh my god.
He has a certain way of dispatching multiple guys with a smooth quickness.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a smooth operator.
Yeah. It's both choreographed and shot well to where you're like, oh my god, he just murdered 5 dudes in 5 seconds. And he's just like, well, I'll just take my wallet here and be on my way. It's really great because you know he just had the bloodlust flowing through him,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like, how do we get this out of him quickly? Well, just throw 4 muggers in there and he can murder them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny that you know, like all the like the entire town of cops show up to investigate this one death.
Oh yeah, because it's the next morning.
Yeah. No one investigates those muggers' deaths. That never comes up again.
No,
But
They weren't
muggers.
dead.
No.
They're 40 beats per minute.
No, they're dead.
fine.
Yeah, he Batmaned them. Come on.
okay, fine. But yeah, no, the entire police force is in Kim's apartment looking for clues. Even though they're told right away, no one talks, you're never going to find out what the hell happened. So, and that's when, you know, as you said, James Spader Light shows up.
Yeah, he's, Diet James Spader
Yeah,
shows
he's
up and
Lil
like,
Spader. Lil Spade.
and it's just like asking questions. And I mean, I don't know. I don't remember what point in the movie it reveals it, but it's Jeff Speakman's little brother grown up.
Right.
Well, yeah, the detective who's in charge of it, and Speakman's little brother is going, "Oh, come on, I need a case, I need to work on it." He's like,
Right.
"Fine, all right, I'll bring you on." And he goes, "Okay, we got a statement from the witness who found him, and it's this
Right. Oh,
guy."
that's right, yeah.
And then he goes, "Jeff?"
Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what up, Adam?"
Yeah. I guess you're a cop now. We should have stayed in touch. This might have come up.
And it's basically just like, he's the whole thing. Like, I got things to do. And he's like, Kim was my friend too. He was practically family to me as well. So you don't get to be the only one upset and want justice for this.
Well, he's like, Jeff, we understand that you know this kid who has information. He's like, no, I don't know no kid.
Yeah, kid,
and he's like,
no.
looks over, and the kid is sitting there. He's like, hey, kid.
Well,
Adam's
first
like,
he's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And like starts chasing after the kid.
it's like, Adam's like, wait, is that the kid? Why are you chasing after that guy?
No,
That's at the funeral. That's later. That's
oh, is
way
it?
later.
I thought it was right there at the investigation.
No, it's at the funeral
Okay.
because he has pictures for him to look at. He's
that's
like,
right,
maybe you
okay.
can identify the guy.
Okay.
And they're kind of like, the younger brother seems to be putting more effort into the whole like, hey, we're brothers. We
Yeah.
should be friends.
Help us out. And,
Speakman's like, nah, I got shit to do.
yeah, I'm gonna.
man."
You don't want any part of me murdering whoever did this.
Yeah.
You got to play by the law.
And that's when he's like, all right, well, I'll meet up with you later. And he goes to the dojo to get some information.
Yeah, just walks in. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, can you help me? One guy's like, in mid ask, he's just like, nah.
Now go home.
Hey, can you help me find? Nah.
Yep.
All right.
But yeah, so they that's when he finds one guy. He's like, whoever.
Well, he's like,
yeah, I know what.
he's like 5'8", knows Taekwondo's got a spider tattooed on his forearm. Do you know who he is? And he's like, yeah, but I'm not telling you. He's like, all right, how about this? How about you and your 2 buddies get to come at me, bro? And if you win, you don't have to tell me. But if I win, you tell me.
Right.
And they're just like, oh, fuck yeah, let's beat up you because we don't like you at all. And he's like, full contact, right? And he's like, yeah, of course. Let's fucking do this.
And his 2 buddies are like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's.
But
beat
one
up this
guy's
guy.
like, this is mine. He's mine.
oh yeah,
Like,
one
stand
underling
back.
is just like, I got this.
Yeah.
And so they all take off their shirts.
Yeah. And the thing is that first guy kind of cranks him. Like he gets some good shots into like his solar plexus and
oh yeah, he gets
kicks Speakman in the face.
Yeah.
And It's like
Speakman
it's
is
like a
not-
real fight because so far Speakman hasn't really had much challenge at all. He's just walked up to dudes and wrecked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, until
And this is the first,
finally
like-
he hits the speed man button because it's just all of a sudden he's like, I can punch you 20 times in a row. I mean, he just does like the
Yeah, he does bust out the Sega Genesis Turbo controller.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god, what is he doing?
Right.
The sound effect guy can't even keep up. Just
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he does get beat up for a little while by
Yeah.
this guy, and then he just starts wrecking him. And the other guy's like, all right, fuck that. And they,
Yeah.
they kick him in the small of the back while he's not looking.
He
and-
takes that one shot in the stomach in slow motion where, I mean, he sells the fuck out of
Yeah,
it. He's
he
just
does.
like, just face contorting and everything. So, I mean, he's selling moves. It's not,
Yeah.
he's not, you know.
And he's down on the ground a lot.
Yeah.
But when those guys kick him in the back, and then he's on the ground, and they're just kicking him in the ribs, cop style.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
fuck you, guy.
yeah. Yeah, they are.
And
Good old
You know,
police brutality.
yeah, but then eventually he like grabs one, and he's like able to punch him. I think like he punches one dude in the ankle when he tries to kick him, which is like a move you would think you would see more often.
Yeah, it's one of those.
when guys are doing the crazy high kicks.
Yeah, it's a spinning high kick, and he just grabs it and just punches his ankle.
It's good.
Yeah,
which is just like,
and it looks like it would hurt like fuck.
The
Yeah.
dude like just hobbles off screen like Jesus who punches people in the ankle.
Yeah, but it's like he does that, and then he punches the guy in the dick
Yep.
right after that.
Yep.
Yeah, well, not just
Oh,
that.
that's-
Like,
yeah.
I believe, like you would say, he
lot of
doesn't
dick
just punch him in the
punching on
dick.
this
It's like
podcast.
the guy comes in for a high kick and he punches him in the dick and then picks him up by the dick and slams him over. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a punch slash body slam,
Uh-huh.
dick slam. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's pretty
It's
amazing.
an uppercut to the
yeah,
dick.
it is.
Yes.
It's an uppercut suplex to the dick.
Oh, it was a tiger uppercut,
Yeah.
specifically,
It was.
and then
Yep.
yeah,
He has the power of the tiger.
right,
Tiger uppercut to the dick
Yeah.
into dragon suplex.
right. That's it.
Dragon D's nuts.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, well, he did drag them nuts over there,
did.
and then
Yeah.
that guy was down,
Yeah.
like done. He was done.
Yeah, I do like that. The rest of the fight, that guy's laying on the ground clutching his nuts.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Wouldn't you be?
while
Yeah.
while Speakman's breaking the knee of the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because doesn't that guy get the leg snap?
No, the leg snap is towards the end.
Okay.
Yeah, but he
'cause-
takes out the other guy too. So like basically the guy who took the 20 punches of death and the other guy are like done. Like they're like 20 beats per minute. They're barely alive. And so he goes after Dick Punch and is like, all right.
but the thing is-
all you really did was take a Dick Punch, which
Yeah.
granted you're hurt, but you're still conscious. So
Yeah.
tell me where this person is.
The other guys might have kids someday.
They
this
might.
guy probably not.
Nah.
So
Not
he's got
anymore.
nothing to live for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got no legacy anymore. So he's like, he barks out, not a name, but he tells him to go to the Club Croc, which at first we were like, what the fuck did he just say?
I thought he said the old crab pit
Like
club.
the
and I'm like,
Crockpot Club or something
what
like
the
that.
fuck?
Yeah,
I heard
it's Club Croc Pit.
Yeah.
I thought he said
Yes.
Crockpot. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's a terrible name for a club. Don't
My
go there.
mother's
Yeah.
chili recipe.
Yeah.
I just like to go there and stew.
You use Coca-Cola instead of sugar.
I do
That's
like though
the
that
secret.
guy like wasn't gonna agree to he wasn't gonna hold up his side of the bargain.
Oh yeah, he tries to flake out on.
He's
it.
like fuck you, and then Speakman's just like, oh, I'm gonna break your
All right,
wrist too
yeah.
while I'm at it. He's like, oh, Club Crockpot.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, he's got the information, and like those guys are more or less dead.
Yeah.
But then, like, is it funeral time first?
yeah, I think so.
Like, I think they have the funeral, and it's it's a big to do, and like everyone in the neighborhood who's friends with it comes, and it's traditional Korean funeral, and then there's like they put seats in the back for like the cops and the people who aren't really have any idea what's going on, but do Kim are there. so like Speakman's up in the front, like participate. He knows all the customs. and
Wearing his
everything.
traditional jeans and jacket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sleeves
members
pushed up.
only jacket.
Yeah.
Uniform. While everyone else there is in like funeral white or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, I don't know the customs honestly.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, like they're all doing the things at the proper time, and he's playing along, and everyone in the back is just like,
Yeah, we're cops, we don't know
They're
this
like
stuff.
non-Catholics at the church.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do we
It's like,
stand now? What happened? I
Why are
don't
they
know. Yeah.
chanting? What's happening?
So basically, like funeral's over, and I don't think Speakman ever even really makes eye contact with his dad. It's not implied that it is, but his dad's like kind of looking at him like, oh, that's Jeff.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's there until like he's going to leave,
Right.
and he sees
I don't
his
think
brother.
I don't think he even sees him like at the funeral at all. I
No.
think he doesn't see him until like he walks into a hallway. He's like, "Oh, hey, Dad, bye. I gotta go."
They see each other.
They see each other
At
when
the funeral?
Speakman is walking back from the funeral, but then the dad just leaves before he can even get close to talk
Right.
to him.
Yeah.
But it's at the funeral where he sees the kid, I believe, and like takes off and tries to
Yeah.
chase him out into an alley. Kid like just vaults over this chain link fence.
Yep.
Speakman goes to try to follow him and steps on like basically it's like an old apple box or a crate, and it's the kid did it. But like Speakman just like foot goes right through the crate.
Yeah, he's got the power.
Yeah.
So he stomped directly through that.
He did.
He can't walk on it. He had to kick through it.
The whole board just snapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the kid gets away, and the brother's like, "You just scared off my only lead. It's your fault Kim's dead. If you hadn't shown up back in town, Kim would still be alive."
And so Jeff gives him a punch in the face.
He slaps him in the face.
All right, it's not a full, perfect weapon
but he's
punch,
so fast that it broke the speed of sound. And
to which his brother is like, "Oh yeah," gun pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, I think, car honks or something like that, and it's James Hong, or, he shows up and breaks it up somehow, doesn't he? Or they just kind of fuck it, walk away?
He points the gun at him, and he's like, "Oh, really? Are you going to shoot me, your own brother?" And that's when he's like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. They kind of leave in a huff. But the point is he runs into James Hong, and James Hong's like, "Hey, Kim's my friend. Let's talk." And does the whole, "You don't know me, but please get into my limousine."
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously not a bad guy. Get into my limousine.
Yeah, I hope at some point in my life I get invited into a limousine by a stranger to have a very intense conversation.
Well,
do you?
okay.
Because they're almost always villains.
I know.
All right. Do you think
But that would mean that I'm the hero.
that you're going to have some vigilante justice eventually?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fair enough. All right.
But really, in real life, nobody ever invites me into a car to have into a limo to fly.
Apparently, you're not standing on enough corners.
I guess not.
Well,
Not anymore.
All right. Maybe there's college. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and our timeline is off because the Club Croc fight was the night before. Because he goes into Club Croc to investigate Club Croc Pit. Sorry, Croc Pit with the chili recipe.
See, I thought we saw good James Hong first because inside Club Crockpit, there's obviously
it's obviously James
Hong
Hong
sitting in a corner, but they never show his face.
You see, the funeral's before that because you just see him at the funeral, and he's going to talk to Jeff Speakman, but doesn't get a chance. So the funeral happens. You just see James Hong. He doesn't say anything. Then it's the Club Crockpit scene.
Yeah, where he goes in. Speakman is walking in this place, and it is it's a point of view shot for most of it from Speakman, and every single person in this club, A, is Korean, and B, has to stare down Jeff Speakman.
Yep.
Men, women, children, old men, everyone.
Now, a few of the women are like, "Ooh, Jeff Speakman."
Yeah, but most everyone's just like, "You son of a bitch."
Yeah.
Don't come in here. So it takes him a long time to work his way to the furthest back corner of the club.
Where he just finds one guy sitting alone in the bar and is like, obviously that guy. Well, I think he had bandages and shit on his face. He's like, obviously that guy had some information.
Like, hey. Well, that's the information that he was trying to. That's why he had the 3-man fight in the.
I think it was because he was one of the ones that he beat up at the shop originally, and he's like, "Oh, I recognize you."
Yep.
Yeah, and this just leads to bar fight.
Yeah,
where one guy comes up to him, as soon as he asks the question, the guy's like, "No, fuck you," and then immediately there's a guy behind him who's like, "All right, we're fighting now."
Yeah. Right.
And he does the slide the guy on the bar and throw him into the wall thing.
Even better, he throws him into the guy he was trying to talk to. He uses the one guy as a projectile into the other guy.
Yes, he does.
Which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
And then it basically starts. Can you have a one-man Donnybrook? Is it a one-Brook?
No, that's just a straight-up bar fight. He just wrecks a bunch of dudes.
It's just dudes sitting at tables with their lady, and it's just like, oh, hell no, this is happening? All right, I'm going to fight you, Jeff Speakman. And,
He beats up about 6 or 7 guys before one guy just hits him on the head with a bottle, and apparently that's his one weakness.
Yes.
Because, getting kicked in the head, no big deal.
Yeah.
Getting hit with a bottle, huge deal. Knocks him out.
Yeah. And that's when Tanaka shows up.
And is about to kill him.
Yeah, he's going to donkey punch him just back of the head, just your time to die. And looks up, and you just see shadowy figure who's so James Hong.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you hear him say, no.
Right. And it's just like, all right.
Yeah. And you see him kind of do that. And it's like a shadowy figure, and he does the hand like the,
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
If you're going to pull that, you need somebody a little less high profile than James Hong with a memorable voice.
Yeah. And head.
Well, yeah, because that's right. You see
but it was not James Hong's voice.
No,
for that.
No, okay.
It was. I'm 99% sure that was not James Hong's voice.
But I mean, the fact that you've seen James Hong in this movie already, and then they make the point to shadow out this character who looks exactly like James Hong. Right. You're like, well, that's James Hong. He's going to be the bad guy.
Yep.
But yeah, so he's carried out and I guess just thrown on the street or something.
Yeah, and the disappointing part, I mean, the fight's pretty good. It's very brief. But the disappointing part is when he walks in, he walks by a crock pit.
Yeah.
where
yeah.
there are crocodiles like in behind glass.
Well,
like
yeah,
just in one of the hallways.
but it's at like head level, so like where
Yeah.
you normally have like a go-go dancer or something. It's
Yeah,
crocodile.
but-
Yeah, you would
we
have to
were-
be some up on the, the
we
lights.
were expecting somebody to get tossed to a croc.
Yeah, James Bond style.
Yeah.
Throw him in the Komodo dragon pit.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, it
Never
doesn't
happens.
happen.
It's a
No.
waste.
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe
Yeah.
in the 30-minute longer Spanish TV.
Maybe
version,
maybe that cut
I don't
has
know.
someone
Do you
going
like
in the croc
Komodo
pit.
dragons?
I do.
Cool. They're cool animals.
Yeah.
They were actually monitor lizards. So imagine lizards, these butts on your.
Right.
But anyway,
Imagine getting mono
Yeah.
from lizards. I don't know. Tur.
but yeah, James Hong the next day
Yeah.
is like, "Hey, Jeff Speakman, I have information for you.
Kim was
about
my friend.
Kim's death."
Yes. I'm sorry I could not help him. Please get into my mystery limo and let us ride around town while I will tell you everything.
Yeah. He basically says, "Hey, this guy will tell you what we need to find."
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy Kai. This is the guy you need to see.
Yeah.
And this is Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. This is the bad guy from Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yep.
You will recognize him immediately.
Yes.
And Speakman strangles him with a seatbelt.
Guy just gets in his car.
And he's like, "Where's whoever?"
Yeah.
And he coughs out a name.
Yeah.
And then just goes back to James Hong's limo. It's like, all right,
All right, I
he's
got
here."
this name. Oh, yes,
Yeah,
he
that's
is
him.
this person.
Yeah,
So,
that's totally
then
him.
The explanation is, I want vengeance for Kim's murder. He was my friend.
Yep.
But I can't do it because I'm one of the crime leaders. I'm one of the 3 crime leaders in the city.
But
if
I'm
I
still
do that,
Kim's
it
friend,
starts.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it starts open war.
Right.
If I do this.
Right.
So you have to. It has to be an outsider who takes this guy out. And Speakman's like, "Word up.
Yep.
I'm an outsider. I want vengeance."
Why don't I do it?
Yeah.
So this then becomes
Yeah, it's
Him.
it's the infiltration mission.
yeah
Because
he
he
Assassin's Creed
well, like
himself.
I believe it actually does the cut where you see him start to go to the building while James Hong is still telling him how the building works.
Yeah.
Because there's a parking garage with a private elevator that goes right to the penthouse, and there's apparently no other way to get to the top floor except for this one elevator, which
Right.
is well guarded.
Yes.
So like you're seeing like him like come up to this place, which is some sort of building with a single elevator,
Mm-hmm.
and, sneaking in, and his great plan is like there's like enough lattice on the side of this building that like he's able to get up on top of the elevator
Yep.
and rides it like up to the very top where he has to basically John McClane like, oh no, am I about to get crushed or not, and then doesn't, because there's always that 1 or 2 foot of room at the top.
Yep.
And then he's just kind of hanging there, and it's like, oh, I didn't really think this out. What do I do? Because it's not like it's an open air elevator. I'm outside. I still have to get inside. Luckily, there's a pipe right there that he could just
Shimmy over to
video
and-
game his way over to, and literally comes to a window where it's like a stealth mission. There's a guy with his back to the window reading a newspaper.
Yes.
Like it's
as
just,
close to the open window as he could possibly be.
Right.
Like the worst thing you can do as a guard for anything.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So
Speaking was just
of
like
course he comes up behind him and does the whole sleep.
yes.
Just sleep, man.
BJ's joke was really good about
What,
his
Jeff
sneak
Sneaker?
priview of the obituaries for tomorrow.
No, that was me.
Carlos'
I was
joke.
like, I was like, spoiler for tomorrow's obituaries.
Yes, you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thanks. Now everyone's going to steal our joke from our movie.
Oh,
When
well,
the guy's reading a newspaper.
I already sent that joke to ourselves in the mail, so we've got
Oh,
it
good.
copyrighted. So
The gentleman's copyright.
So yeah, he takes that guy out, and then
There's 2 guys coming in like off the elevator.
They come off an elevator, and he just off camera.
well, like there's some sort of like little credenza by the elevator, and like so he just does like, I'm standing up like at head
Yeah.
level to you, so I just go ha and kick your head.
Yes.
Yep.
And those guys kicks them back into the room they were coming out of, and just basically breaks the door to where they're not coming back out.
Right.
Then here's 2 more people coming, so he goes and rips a fire extinguisher off the wall.
Yeah,
and just
fills the room with smoke.
80s music videos the hallway up completely, and then is just basically standing in the cloud of smoke, just like over here, turn around.
Yep.
Like one guy's like, I'll investigate. Goes into the cloud, just punch. He's down.
And the other guy pulls out a knife and is like, "Oh, I'm going to go in there and do it." And he gets a fire extinguisher to the face.
Oh, a couple times.
Yeah,
He gets murdered.
yeah, that guy.
And murders the fuck out of
Yeah,
that guy.
he's like donk, donk, and then like one to the left side of the face, one to the right side of the face, and then like a spinny thing, and then cracks him over the head.
I don't know. One good crack with a fire extinguisher.
You're
probably
fucking
dead.
done.
Yeah.
I've seen that in enough movies. Usually, where like the head just goes and like breaks like off nearly off the body.
Yeah.
Well, if
At best,
you've ever
your dental
picked up
records are fucked.
Yes.
If you've ever picked up a
identified.
fire extinguisher, those fuckers are heavy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Even if you just expended it, the thing itself,
The metal,
yeah,
it's a giant piece of metal.
because it's nothing but compressed gas inside of there.
Right.
Yeah.
That weighs nothing.
Yeah.
So-
So anyway, like, so he gets in the room, and like the guy that he's there to, like, he just comes busting through the door, and the guy that he's there to murder, that he's been told is the killer, is basically having like family dinner. I mean, it's a weird family scenario, but like his whole
Big
family's
family.
there, and like there's someone playing a violin. I mean, they're all just kind of hanging out in robes, but it's like a big family thing, and of course, like wife, all the kids, like there's like 6 kids, just all go running off like until he's all left alone.
Yep.
And gets over the guy's like, you killed Kim, I'm going to murder you, and is like all but about to murder him, and he's like, yeah, well, you might kill me, but I'm not going to have my final words be a lie. I didn't kill Kim.
Yeah,
Right.
and the kid is there too
Yes.
from earlier.
Yeah.
and he's like, "You idiot! He's Kim's friend."
Yeah.
Right.
The
Yeah.
kid, by the way, is Rufio from Hook. So
Oh.
it's that
guy,
kid.
That
There you go.
guy.
It was driving me crazy. I'm like, I know this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1991's Hook. Stay tuned.
Without
Watch
the
that too.
Stupid hair. I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, without all the colors in his hair.
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so
the
basically
guy's
he's just like, oh, you got this information from him? Fucking hell, he's the guy that killed him. Like,
Yeah. I'm just hanging out with my family.
Yeah. Well, and he's very much like, so you're just going to come in here and kill me right in front of my family?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of guy are you?
Yeah. How dare you disrespect me like that? Oh, and you killed 5 of my dudes, and like 2 guys come in who are just bloodied from the fight from earlier, just like, ow! He hit us.
Yeah.
hard. We should be dead.
He hit Carl with a fire extinguisher.
No, that's the best part. Is like he apologizes. Basically, the older guy's like, "You're taking the kid with him." Well, the kid tries to shoehorn himself in. And he's like, "No, kid, just stay home." And the older guy's like, "No, you need him. He knows things. Take him with you."
Right.
But as he's leaving with the kid, he walks by the guy that he clocked with the fire extinguisher. He's just like sitting on a chair, just like, and it just kind of looks at him like, "Sorry, guy."
Yeah.
He just gives him the most
He should
sheepish
be
like,
sitting on a chair dead.
Yes. Yes. Ice pack on his dead.
He should be picking up his teeth off the floor.
I believe the word is slumped when you're in a chair and no longer alive.
Oh.
I don't think you can sit.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It depends on who props you up.
Oh, okay.
placed in a chair dead.
Yeah, we're always propping you up.
But he and the kid come up with this plan that they're going to tell his detective brother. The kid saw Tanaka murder Kim.
Yep.
So that'll get the cops to arrest Tanaka, who will be separated from James Hong, and
Right.
then they can just
Then we can get him.
go get James Hong.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work out that way.
No, because there's some things like the only thing we know he does on a daily basis is go to the bank. So let's get him at the bank.
Got that?
Yeah.
So his plan is he tells the kid, "You're going to tell my brother, the cop, that you saw Tanaka murder Kim." And the kid's like, "That's not true, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to testify." And he's like, "No. Here's the plan."
Right.
He's basically, I can't get to him with Tanaka guarding him, but they're going to arrest Tanaka, leaving me an opportunity to go after what the hell was James Hong's name?
James Hong.
James Hong.
Yeah. All right. Whatever his name was. But yeah, they're like, that'll leave an open place for me to go kill him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay.
All right, let's do that then.
And it becomes a whole convoluted thing where they're actually like in the drive. I don't really understand this, but they like.
Well, first of all, they figured he was going to go into the bank to do the transaction.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
They're
He's
in
like-
a drive-thru.
He's like, going to the drive-through. Shit. All right, well, drive up next to him.
Yeah. And
So
like,
it's a 2-lane drive-through.
And the lady who's in their lane got like $7.98 and
Yeah.
asked for the 98 cents in pennies because she pulls the tube out and then just dumps all this change on the ground.
Well, and she's too far away from the pneumatic tube to get the. So she's hanging out the window, like to do the transaction and get the stuff. So she's hanging out the window, drops the thing, the money goes everywhere, and they're just like, "Oh, God's sake, lady, come on!" And
this is why they have big signs that say, "Don't put change in the pneumatic tubes."
Yeah. And so,
but
she,
they did.
Well, that's true.
The bank did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Didn't even roll it. Jackasses.
Yeah, or having that little pouch.
Yep.
Yep.
Either way, this lady, and she's taking her time picking it up, and they're like, "Oh no, Tanaka's gonna get away."
Yeah.
But then they do the stupidest thing. Like they roll up alongside of it. Now Speakman's like humped, slunched over in the front seat.
Yeah.
Kid's slunched over in the back seat, and then they're like, "Okay, kid," and he sits up with a newspaper with two little eye holes and looks right at Tanaka, and he goes, "Positive identification." And, like Tanaka looks over and like, "Why is there a newspaper with two eye holes and two eyes behind it?"
Well, fuck this.
Takes off.
Takes
and
off.
This leads to our car chase.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Cops are immediately all over the place.
It's a pretty good late 80s, early 90s style car
yeah, it's
chase.
lots of swervy,
yeah.
weaving.
Like one cop car goes into, we think it's into like a little culvert with like, I mean, it looks like a river.
Yeah.
But it like goes in and the water must have been like 6 inches deep because it goes in and it's just kind of like clunk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the car does its arc and comes down and you're like, oh, that car's getting submerged. Nope.
Nope.
It
Clunk.
goes immediately
Bam,
just
bam.
clang and then falls back down.
Yeah. How does it even end? Like they all like, oh, that's right, the meter maid. The meter maid is the
Jesus.
foil of this entire thing, and it's pretty good because like Tanaka's going down the sidewalk and she's there and like doesn't hear him coming, even though he's driving a big ass limo.
Yeah.
Until like the last second, she's like, oh shit, and dives out of there and into the actual street where the cops are, and then
cops
she
crash
sees them,
'cause they're
and then
trying
they're
to-
like,
Oh, shit.
and then she's like, oh shit, and dives onto the other sidewalk.
Right. Yeah, and that's when the cops, everyone gets all fucked up.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And Tanaka basically gets away until suddenly there's a car carrier truck backing up, and he has to like. I don't really understand. Does he actually hit it? Because like somehow.
No, they.
Oh, that's right. He like something happens and he flips the car.
Well, like a bunch of other cops show up and block the road,
yeah.
and he sideswipes one police
That's
car
right.
and then goes on the
Sideways,
side. So limo is going sideways down the street and kind of taps into the car carrier, which then car on top of this thing weirdly juts out of it sideways and lands on the driver's side door,
Right.
pinning him in the car.
Yep. And we're like, oh, well, they got him.
Yeah, well, that's a weird end to this car chase, but whatever.
Nope.
So the cops get out of the car and they're like, all right,
No. Like, but I think before
No,
they
I'm
even
just
got
saying
in the car,
that
like,
there are cops out with guns drawn walking towards the car, and then all of a sudden you see the car that landed on top of the limo start to kind of move. You're like, what? And it's Tanaka who is just lifting the car out of the way so he can push the door open and get out. He pushes the car off of him and then pops out.
A car.
Yes, a car. An entire car that has landed on his sideways limo.
I mean, it's a little car, but still, it's a car.
It's a car.
Yeah. It's a car that he lifted with a door.
Yes.
So you don't have like
Yeah.
a lot of leverage or
Yep.
anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So
And
he
then
gets
he's-
out and like he lands on the floor and is just like, ugh.
And he just dusts himself off,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
cops are like, "Just get on the ground." He's
Yeah,
just like,
and at this
nah.
point, Speakman's brother has shown up, and he's like, I'm going to take care of this.
Yeah.
Right. And then he just does some kind of move like and disarms the cops and is just walking towards, Lil Speakman and his brother
and
Adam.
everyone's just like, nobody do anything.
Well,
I got this.
yeah, I got a taser.
Hey, pal, this is a taser, 50,000 volts of electricity. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, is that?
Well, this was 1901. You couldn't
50,000
buy a
volts
taser at your corner.
No, I know.
7-Eleven.
It's just
Like you
quaint
can
how
now.
they were introducing the taser. Like, this is a taser. It's like,
We know what they are now.
yeah. I got one.
There have been memes.
Yes.
He hits him once, and he goes, and then grabs the leads, and it's like, damn it,
Yeah.
don't do that.
And Adam's like, fuck. Shocks him again, and
But
then
yeah, it's a double barrel taser.
Yeah.
which- that's pretty cool.
pretty cool, yeah. And then he goes down.
Yeah.
So they
Yep.
won. They win. But
Meanwhile, Speakman has run over to the limo.
yeah,
and is
ripped
looking
the back door off and is just like,
Damn
he's
it.
not here. He's like, I got to tell my brother this whole plan backfired, but
But at least they got Tanaka.
yeah.
And so they cuff him and throw him in the back of the car.
Yep.
And the other cop's like, man, that was pretty badass with that taser.
Yeah. They
It's
have
like, you would have taken him down the same way, man.
how long you been on the force? 5 months. Yeah, well, stuff. And like right
That's when you're watching in the back now. Tanaka's waking up.
yes, waking up and then punches through the police barrier and just starts
This
murdering the driver of the car.
There is like one punch where the entire cage like basically knocks them out, and then the car just
Yeah,
I don't
cut
know.
to the outside shot of the car. Just
It like hits a parking pylon or something.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it goes poop, and
Yeah.
it just like flips and disintegrates.
it flips and rolls a few
Yeah.
times down
Yes.
this road. It's a good car stunt
Yeah.
crash thing. And Tanaka just kind of gets out of the door, gets out, is like, huh,
yeah.
grabs the brother's gun and shoots his handcuffs off.
But does it in a way that also makes it look like he shoots the brother in the face.
Yeah.
It does. Well, because
But-
he's like holding the gun like almost like suicide style.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is a weird shot that you're not exactly sure what happened, but
Because the brother has blood on his face because he was just in a horrific car crash.
Right,
So we're like,
yeah.
oh, is that bullet blood? Like, okay.
yeah.
No,
But
no,
then it just cuts to the hospital
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
just
just got
in the
like a Band-Aid on his head.
Yeah, and Speakman's sitting next there like, "Hey, champ,
Hey.
Yeah.
how you feeling?"
Yeah, you good? I got
Yeah.
you some balloons.
So
Yeah. And that's when he tells him, he's like, "Listen,
like,
that whole plan was kind of bullshit. Sorry.
sorry I like used you and stuff and you
Yeah.
got in a horrific car crash, but I don't know, sponge bath?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get 2 weeks off. and-
they say you'll walk in maybe 6 months.
yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fine. Come on, little
you'll
guy.
be all right."
And Adam's
At
like,
least you could still speak, man.
yeah. And Adam's just basically like, oh, I can never be mad at you. Go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and he passes the dad in the hall,
Yeah.
and
Dad's like, how is he? And he's like, he'll be all right. I'll see you around.
yeah, he's like, "Good talk."
yeah. Bye. I still think you're a terrible son.
And then there's a scene back. I think it's the same. I think it's the Crockpit Club or something. No, is it? I don't know. Doesn't
that?
matter. There's another club where we see the Shang Tsung guy and someone else talking, and basically like laying down their plans for taking a big delivery of drugs / getting James Hong back to Korea.
Yeah.
like he's going to escape. You know,
It's like,
we're
send us
delivering
all the drugs.
Yeah.
We're sending you James Hong.
Yeah.
and
Get him out of the
And the
country.
kid is like in the rafters
Yeah.
listening to all this.
As you are.
Yeah,
Yep.
Goes
back and
his
tells
Robin
Speakman.
to his
Yes,
Batman is
exactly.
listening, getting all the information.
They're going to be here at this time.
So,
So Speakman's like, "Time to gear up,
Yeah.
motherfuckers."
but Speakman doesn't use guns.
Nope.
No.
He needs 2 knives and some sticks.
Kendo sticks.
Kendo sticks.
Sure. I don't think they're
Not
Kendo
Kempo
sticks.
sticks.
Screama
Kempo
sticks.
sticks.
Yeah, a Screama.
Screama
Kempo
sticks?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so he hides the 2 knives in his boots, and then he,
These boots were made for stabbing.
he's got like a back holster for the sticks, but then he's like, man, I'm gonna practice on this couch that's propped up on the wall.
He fucked your couch. Good.
He beats the fuck out of this couch, and the sound guy is just like, man, you know those drums? Let's just wail on those things. Boom, 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 and the couch just starts splitting, and it's just like, okay, he's mad.
Yeah. He's the perfect weapon.
Which, did we point out that someone actually said that about him?
I believe the guy he went to murder that wasn't the right guy was like, well, of course. Because he's like, he explains, he's like, well, of course, he's one of the crime lords. He's like the crime lord. He wanted to kill you to kill all the competition.
Yeah, you're the perfect weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the name of the movie's been said. So,
Yeah. So, like, he's geared up. And first off, like, he goes down to the docks and is watching with the kid. Like, he's surveying. The kid's like, why aren't we just in there, like, fucking murdering people? He's like, survey first.
right.
And he comes up with this plan.
Survey first.
He comes up with
Well,
a plan.
he's a construction worker
We
after
don't-
all.
we
He
don't-
knows that you need.
Well, we don't really know what the plan is. We just see a guy guarding the chain link fence that with barbed wire over it, and then Speakman pole vaulting over the chain link fence.
The only instance of Chekhov's pole vault in cinema history.
so dumb.
Not to be confused with Chekhov's gymnastics
Yeah. Yes.
in Lost World.
Right. It's
Yes. But,
it's so dumb, but it's so good
Well,
because he
it's-
lands right in front of a guard.
and he goes, "Holy shit, can you believe that?"
Yeah. Can you believe that thing still works? Is what he says.
Yeah. And the guard's like, what?
And he gets cracked in the
Yeah, he's
face.
just, he's just like,
Yes. He's so gleeful about it, too. Speaker's just like, holy shit, can you believe that still works? Punch. Yeah. So he's like, all right, murder time.
No.
So he basically Buseys his way into this warehouse.
well, I think he takes out a few people outside first, right? No, or is it straight to the warehouse? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
murders
kind of
some
sneaks
dudes.
around and he takes like, and then he
I think
he kind of stealth takes out a few guys.
Well, he takes out a few people with the sticks and then puts them back. I think, and then right.
No. The sticks are hidden the whole time.
He stealth
Okay.
takes out the first few
right.
because like he jumps from the rafters. He butthorn
Oh, that's
your worst nightmares.
Yeah.
These
Oh, he
guys.
takes out that one guy with his legs.
Yeah, he
he's hanging up
on-tops her.
He's like up on a
Him.
pallet, and he's just like, "Oh, leg scissor
Yeah.
kick."
That
Sleep.
guy's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not how I wanted to go out.
And then finally he gets out in the open part where he's like, all right.
Yeah.
And he comes to the two guys and goes, it's break time, guys. And breaks out the sticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great
then-
one-liner.
Proceeds to beat the shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And
it's-
there's like
it's-
guys with like the packing hooks, like the meat hooks.
Yeah.
Literal meat hooks.
Yeah.
like
Well, one guy comes at him with a knife. And he immediately does that reversal thing where it's just like, coming at me with that, stab yourself in the leg with it. And he's like, ah! And so he's kind of in the background as he's fighting the other two dudes. But then after that, he's like, all right, I've recovered. Speakman rips the knife out of that leg and stabs him in the other leg with it.
Yep.
And then conks him over the head. It's just like, this guy gets it rough, and he didn't do shit.
Yeah.
It's a combination.
Right.
It's a combination of what you're watching and a combination of the sound. Like the guy's getting it with these what is it, the screamo sticks? Or,
Yeah.
It's rough. Like,
Okay,
it's like
and Hula points out when he stabs him in the leg, he goes, "Hold this."
Yes. Yes, that's right.
So thank you, Hula, in the live stream for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
yeah, it's this whole like little section of murdering or Batmaning is really really strong.
Yep.
And then like he's, as you said, he's sneaking in, and there's one guy up on a catwalk who has a gun, and he pops up out behind some things and gets machine gun where the guy misses, and so he ducks back behind. That's when he goes for the boot knives.
Yes.
And he brings up both of them.
Yep.
And he pops up again and makes the guy unload his magazine, and then stands up and like chucks one knife so that it like rainbow arcs over the guy's head.
Yep.
And then is like. Then throws the perfect next one, so it's like a perfect hot hit into the guy, and it's like
the guy's like,
but he hits him
"Where's
in the
that knife
shoulder.
going?" Yeah.
he's just kind of like, huh?
But
Yeah.
but he doesn't kill this guy. He hits him in the shoulder.
right, okay,
The
sorry.
defenestration
That's why
afterwards.
he had to distract him so he could get a good disabling but not
Yeah.
killing blow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would have worked if the guy didn't fall like 2 stories through a glass
He'll be fine.
ceiling.
40 beats per minute.
Dead.
Yeah.
That guy is dead. They're all dead.
Yeah. And meanwhile, James Hong and Shang Tsung
Yeah.
have been meeting together, and James Hong's like, "Oh, we got this. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got the Assassin's Creed wrist blade.
Yeah, he's
ready
like,
to go.
"Don't worry about it. If he comes over here, chink." It's like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
But that's the sound the thing made.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So he's just like, if he comes at us, don't worry about it. I got this. I don't know why that matters because the extension of Jeff Speakman's leg is further than that. But
Yeah.
okay.
But so Speakman finally gets out to the dock, like where James Hong's waiting, and he's just like, "Oh, there he is!"
Yep.
And that's when Shang Tsung comes out from the side, pulls a gun on him.
Out. Are you faster than a speeding bullet,
Yeah.
Superman?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
Superman, come at me.
I want to see you do this. And
Kinda
is.
He does. Well, because like he's like they have James Hong has this moment of like, yeah, you got me. I'm gonna briefly monologue, and then he's actually like telling Shang Tsung like, no, come around. I want the brains to come towards me. Like he's like, I want you to splatter his brains so that they splatter on me.
yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. And then so like when he's like coming around him, that's like he's like, I got all right. Well, now you're moving, so I got this, and he does some kind of move and takes out Shang Tsung. Like he's done. Like he's just like wah, 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 and is like,
Well, that's who he. But when he does, that's the leg break.
Yeah.
is it okay?
Yeah, he does it to a leg break into a dick punch.
Oh, okay.
So he goes for the high kick. He
And the
grabs
Russian
guy's
judge
leg.
says 9 points.
Yeah, he just snaps leg, and at the same as he starts to go down, punches him in the dick. And it's just like, well, that guy's never doing
Finish
anything
him.
ever again.
But then he gets up again. Like a minute later, he attacks him and does that. So maybe he doesn't break the leg the first time.
Maybe. I
Maybe
don't
he
know.
just does the super fast punch thing, and you think he's knocked him out.
Yeah.
Because then he goes for James Hong, and Shang Tsung jumps him again.
Right. Maybe
And
it's the
that's when
super
he
fast
does-
punch thing he does first.
Yeah.
Because that he hits him like 17 times in a
Either
second.
way, Shang Tsung gets his knee just like Joe Theismann, wrong direction.
Yep.
Not
just,
good.
That's not the way the knee goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, like James Hong, like he's doing this whole thing where like he's like, I'm not. He's like, I'm going to kill you, and like grabs him by the neck and is like choking him out, like
Yeah.
I'm going to break your neck / choke you kind of thing, and it's
Yeah.
just like, nah,
You're not worth it.
you're not worth it.
Nah.
And meanwhile, Tanaka is coming with the boat.
Yes, with the speedboat that's supposed to take him away.
Yes.
But then like I think he turns because like he hears the speedboat pull up. And you think James Hong has like been at least sleeper holded down, but he's faking
Yeah.
it. Like,
Well, he lets him down because he's like, "You're not worth killing."
Right.
And
then he's
starts
like-
to walk away.
And then he's like, but I'm still sleepy. And starts to walk away. And James Hong's like, no, I was faking it. And tries to do the Assassin's Creed blade to the back.
Into his
and,
back.
And hits one of the Eskrima sticks.
Well, Speakman makes a face like, man, you're an idiot, and takes off his jacket and just like, look what you did.
Yeah.
You stabbed the extra stick I have.
Yep.
And James Hong is just like, son of a bitch.
That was my one play.
Yeah. And so, Speakman knocks him out basically and throws him into just some netting, and he's out of the way,
Right.
Because Tanaka has shown up now,
Right.
And it's time for your boss battle.
Yeah, because technically he is the guy who actually murdered Kim, so it makes sense.
Yes, it's time for this guy to get his.
Right.
And
Everyone else orchestrated it, but this guy actually did the murdering,
Yep.
so it's okay to murder him.
yes, and so he's just
Yeah, it's
selling everything.
Yeah, it's the old, whatever, feats of strength.
Yeah.
Bring it at me. Everything you throw at me is not doing anything.
And so Speakman, and this is smart of both the character and the movie, is just like, I'm gonna fucking obliterate your knee. Like, I'm just gonna punch the fuck out of your knee every chance
One
I
knee.
get.
Yeah, just your right
He
knee.
targets that knee. It's like it's literally like a video
wrestling
game
match.
boss battle where it's like you've got this knee is glowing.
is
You've got to
blinking
take
red.
that out
Yeah.
before you can do damage anywhere else. And that's what he does. He just keeps like rolling around and just punching the knee and kicking it. And
Yeah, Tanaka at one point in time reaches over and tries to grab some chain, and
Yep.
he's swiping at him with a chain and making sparks everywhere he hits.
Yes,
every
everywhere.
metal on metal,
Yeah.
which is really just setting up something later.
Right.
That these are whatever these are, they're
Super
sparking
chains.
chains.
Yeah.
But I think Speakman actually at one point gets the chain and is just whack whack to his knee with
Yep.
the chain.
Yep.
Until he's finally down on
But
one.
it breaks the chain.
Yeah.
Like the chain
Yeah.
breaks into several pieces.
Yeah,
And then
and that's when Tanaka breaks out his little blade
Death belt.
ribbon belt thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
It's a belt.
He undoes his butt buckle, his belt
Butt
buckle,
buckle.
and it's just
It's a
this
butt buckle
long
now.
blade, and he just starts whipping it around.
I believe that's after black belt is knife belt.
Knife belt. That's makes sense. So he's just whipping this around his head, and he's super gleeful at this point. He's just like, I'm gonna get you. And Speakman's just confused by this. He's just like, what? And so he whips it by it at one point, and it slashes Speakman on the arm as it goes flying, off into a pallet or something. So then Speakman goes and gets it, and it's like, aha, I will do the same thing. And throw it back at you. To which it embeds into a giant tank of gas that Tanaka is standing next to. And Tanaka's just standing right in this gas that is just hitting him in the face and just laughing. It's like, ha. You missed. And then so he looks over and sees a piece of the chain that was broken earlier and picks it up. I don't quite understand what's happening.
It's slow motion, so it works.
But he just basically throws this bit of chain over at the tank, and it sort of hits the mechanism, kind of sparks.
Yeah, because gas is already spewing from it from where the blade hit it.
Right.
Yeah, well, the blade hit it, and Tanaka yanked the blade out and
Yeah.
it broke a bunch of pipes and stuff.
But the chain sparks it, and then, man,
Tanaka gets a ticket to Burning Man quickly because he goes up.
Yep.
And then he's stumbling around.
It's flames, and he's on fire, and then the tank is just like, well, I can't go on.
My work here is done. My people need me.
And just the whole, that part of the dock just...
Yeah.
That guy is gone.
He's,
there is nothing for the crime scene.
Tanaka won't work here anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah, CSI is going to find nothing. They're just be like, well, we'll take your word for it.
They upgraded his ticket to Nuclear Man.
There's some mist over here.
Yeah. I don't know.
He won't be missed. Oh, yes, he will.
Yeah, that's all he is.
Yeah.
And so basically, then you see a shot on the other side of the docks of all the cop cars showing up, and Speakman walks out, and he's carrying basically a bag over his shoulder, and his brother gets out of, the cops get out of the car, his dad and the other cops get out of the car, and he just throws this bag on the ground, and you kind of see James Hong, who's all tied up in it. It's like, there you go.
He was hog-tied.
Yeah. He's just like, there you go. Bye.
Yep. And then he goes to the dojo, and Mariska Hargitay's there. Is like, smiles at him.
She smiles at him.
Oh,
you know?
you're here.
Yeah.
And he meets with the sensei, who's like, okay, you've learned the dragon. Kind of giving him the knowing look and the nod.
And she closes the door.
Yep. And they play snaps. I got the power again.
Yep.
And then roll credits.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Mariska Hargitay has not said a line of dialogue.
Not one single word. Her character is pointless.
I think this may be one of the first movies we've had where literally no woman had a speaking role in it.
Yeah.
The
It's
entire
the
movie.
anti-Bechdel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But yes, that's how it ends, is with him in the dojo and her smiling and closing the doors. And he's still got the power.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now
And-
we've got to rate it.
Yeah, and as the trivia has told us, there was a whole subplot. Apparently, it's on the TV version
Yeah.
where he meets with her and they exchange information and they kind of catch up. And
They have a romance.
yeah,
That's clearly why
none
she's
of this
there.
is present in this 84-minute movie that we saw.
At the very least, I would like to know why she is still there. It seems odd
Yeah,
that she just grew up there and never left. Mm-hmm. You know, and is always there. She's never anywhere else.
nope.
That's just strange. But whatever, movie. It didn't need it. Because it needed lots of dudes getting wrecked.
Right.
And that's what happens.
Yeah. And that's why I can rate it right now.
All right.
Do it.
I'm terribly sorry because I'm not writing any think pieces about women in this movie or anything else.
All right.
I am judging it how we judge things
By how awesome it is.
by how awesome it is, and
Not
I'm
by how
I'm
problematic it is.
Not problematic or politically correct or any of that bullshit.
All right.
This is a 5 Jocks movie.
I'm in agreement with you. This is a 5 Jocks movie. It's got everything we want. And
It's
Speakman,
brisk. I think we've talked about it about as long as the movie is.
Yep.
Yeah, and Speakman sells everything.
Yes.
Like, he's good. He's really good. The fight scenes are really well filmed. And you get a giant ass explosion at the end. The fuck else do we want?
I submit to you that there is nothing else that we want, and I will mirror your ratings and add this. While it's pregnant pause, I wanted to make sure to start off 2016 with one of those.
Always good.
The nice thing is it doesn't really treat women poorly. It just sort of like
It treats them like they don't
It doesn't
exist.
treat them at all.
I mean, that is a manner of treating them poorly, but it just doesn't even broach the subject at all. It's just like, nope, this is just a story about
It's like
Speakman
the
kicking
thing.
ass.
It's
Yeah,
like there are no women. It's just the universe. That's
yeah,
it's weird.
There's
Does
one
the little version of Jennifer ever say anything?
I think she is seen saying something to him,
She's
but you
seen-
never
yeah.
hear it.
yeah.
Because it's part of a montage.
Right.
But yeah, women just don't exist in this universe except for Jennifer, who is there to stand next to him and open and close a door.
Yep.
So at least they don't do anything mean to women.
Nope. No.
Besides ignore them. But yeah, 5 Jocks on BMFcast rating scale.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're using that one.
I figured.
It's a bold stance.
Yeah.
Old strategy, Cotton.
It's a 5 Jocks movie. I was at 4 for the most part and was like, this movie's missing a little something. I'm not sure what it was. And then that dude blew the fuck up at the end. They were just like, yeah, this guy is the murderer. He needs to die. And so let's explode him.
It's a much better ending than he got in Martial Law.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Heart punch is just not the way to go out. Standing next to an exploding tanker, that's the way to go out. Yeah, this movie's great. Speakman's great. I think this movie just came about at that time where people were sick of this.
I think people were like, hey, man, this isn't Seagal doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one or 2 years earlier, and people have been like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, but this was an era like, okay, there were a lot of guys doing this. There were a lot of these movies.
A lot of ninja movies.
And I remember the trailer for this. It was really, really selling Jeff Speakman hard. Like, you guys, we've assembled an action hero. Check it out. And it just seemed like, well, I don't know that guy. Fuck that guy. It just, and so no one
Yeah.
gave a shit. So it's a shame because in retrospect, this is one of the good ones. I mean, this is what you want. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
doing anything story wise that hasn't been done before, but you want a guy who knows what he's doing wrecking dudes, and that's what happens. So,
Yeah, exactly.
can't fault it for not doing anything it didn't set out to do. There you go.
No Stargrove.
It does have the power, though.
Does have the power. Good song.
Yeah.
Good soundtrack. No Stargrove. No Ensign Award, I don't think.
No,
No.
no,
Nah,
But it-
nobody freaks out.
But it did get 20 jocks, so that's pretty fucking
that's
good.
pretty high.
A
So
unanimous 5 Jocks.
our theme year's off to a hell of a start, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
1991 is amazing.
Yep. I think it's going to be the true golden year of movies.
It is. It's going to be the Golden Jocks year of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Should we talk about that second half?
I think we should.
Yeah.
It's going to be 52 5 Jocks movies this year.
Man, that is a tall order.
I don't
That's
know.
a lot of Jocks.
I don't know about
It's
that.
1991, man. Can't go wrong.
You got a point.
Right.
Can I just suggest maybe we don't do that?
What?
Don't do what? 1991?
An entire year of 1991. This
Really?
movie was so good.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not going to get. We're not going to get another unanimous Five Jocks movie.
Close the book on
What
it?
do you say we stop here?
But I'm trying to understand. We did
Go out on
we
top?
Did, we
Yeah.
did 1990 year last year.
Yeah.
We do
Does it-
1991 year this year.
Yeah,
'cause
I mean that.
then next
seems
year
like
we'll do
how that
1992
would,
year.
That would
and-
happen.
I hear you, but what if we did this? What if we don't?
Hear me out. What if we just didn't?
I'm just spitballing here, but what
Well-
if we stop now?
You make a good point.
Let's quit while we're ahead. You're
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. We
Huh.
got 20 jocks on this one. Let's just stop 1991, and next week we'll do something else.
You make a good point.
All right, fine.
You want to do that?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I think we'll work on it. We'll talk
No,
about
let's
it over-
totally do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
I
Awesome.
am in agreement.
Okay.
All right.
It was a good
Yes.
year.
Goodbye,
1991.
1991.
Yeah.
Get
Get
fucked.
fucked.
On that note,
Hey, 1991.
break.
Shit your place.
there we go. Break time.
Okay, so no, we are not doing an entire year's worth of 1991 movies.
Ah,
You fell
January
for it. You have
Fools.
been caught in the ruse.
yeah, we're not fucking crazy.
Well, yes, we are, because we did an entire year of 1990 movies.
Yeah, that's okay. Look, no, we're not doing that. No way.
I don't think we'd live through it.
I'd be fine with it, but but
How long ago was it where we decided we had to do a 1991 movie first week of this year?
it was 4 or 5 months ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've been like, oh yeah, no. First
And we whittled it down because it was going to be a whole month. We were going to do 4 1991 movies.
No.
And they were like, dude, no, just one more. Just the joke and then get out.
1991 But we fucking nailed our one 1991 movie.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. We shut the book on it now.
Yeah.
Year of the dick punch.
What if we don't?
Let's say we don't. How about?
How about we don't?
Well.
Well, actually. It's not like you're trying to perpetrate one lie.
Does it have a-
entire time?
Does it have a board?
It's more like little lies.
Does it have a board or cards or any of that stuff?
Cards are like for story.
Ooh, Nelly. Whew. How about that theme year, Chuck? 1991. That was a good theme year.
It was strong.
It went by quick.
Man, it went so fast, and man, every movie we saw was fucking awesome.
Yeah, perfect record.
Jeff Speakman is.
Perfect record.
Yeah.
Perfect rating.
Okay. There are 392 titles on IMDb with the keyword kicked in the crotch.
Really?
What about Dick
watch
Punch?
I thought.
It's not they fancied up the the keyword. There is no dick
Nah.
punch. It's kicked in the crotch.
Richard Punch.
Yeah.
Gotta fancy it up. It's Richard Punch.
Yeah. Well, there's some classy movies on here.
All right, so we're going to do
A second.
whatever fucking movies we want this year.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to clear out some of the queue, some of the backlog.
We've got a huge queue, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You should see this list.
We got the queue. We'll be taking some listener suggestions that have been waiting.
Yep. We've been making a list for a year of everything that wasn't 1990. I've got it all right here. I've been stockpiling Blu-rays for a year of cool shit that's come out that we should watch. Basically every canon movie that's come out over the last year. So, yeah, like BJ said, 1991, get fucked. Not happening. Sorry, brah.
Were any of those movies from 1990?
On the list?
Yeah, in your stockpile?
No.
Good.
If they were, we would have watched them last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
There were no almost there's.
No, there were a couple kind of recommendations, but they don't have all the P's, and I think we need to treat ourselves with some P's.
Yep.
So yeah, those of you who want to get in recommendations now, and
January's booked. You already said that, right?
the whole fucking year is
January
booked.
and February is booked.
But look, on Monday we said January was booked, and then January changed 50% of its titles.
Okay, but all I was trying to say is, like, it's been a really long time since we watched Step Up 3D, and I was like, I've had Step Up 4 in 3D on my shelf.
Step Up 4 is coming. Don't worry.
It absolutely
That was
is.
my only thing. I didn't mean to,
Don't-
like, change everything.
No. Dude, don't worry. The list is a tentative lock. It's not like we must adhere to this. It's just like, this looks good. And then, like you said, you reminded me that we had that. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, we got to do that.
That's got the P's.
I know. It's 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh, it's got the D's, too.
Yeah, P's
D's
and
and the
D's. Just P under D's. No, wait, no.
I don't think that's how that works. You could put your D under P.
Gross.
You don't want to P under D's.
But I don't want to C on her.
You want a 3 on her D's.
Yeah, I do. That's what I want to do.
Huh.
All over my face.
You're an embarrassment.
Chuck, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Okay.
I'm disappointed.
So yeah. So no, what I was saying was, if you weren't well versed in 1990 and you just want to recommend something, go ahead, get it in, make your case for it. I can't promise anything.
You're gonna have to make a strong ass case
because we do have a lot
this
of
point.
like top tier Perfect Weapon-esque level movies of we should really see this, and those are all top of the heap. But
No.
like I said, we changed this month already. 2 of the 4 titles have already changed, so
It happens.
sell it.
Yep.
Sell it.
All we can say is next week will be modern day.
Yeah, it's gonna look weird.
Very
Yeah,
modern.
It's gonna be.
So modern.
Yeah.
So modern it's going to hurt.
It's gonna be weird to talk about a movie with like CG in it, even if it's not obvious.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, there's
Something
CG
was
in
made with
this.
computers.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Cell phones.
Yeah. But, oh God. Now that I'm thinking, like, we have like movies. Like, I mean, there's so many movies we've stockpiled over the year. So we have movies people have sent us. Like, we still have
Yeah.
Hoopa.
Yeah,
We
Hoopa.
still have Hooper. And
In the
we have,
interim, that has come out on Blu-ray. So
yeah, we have. I think
Jesus.
we have Link.
Yep.
That's been sitting in there
Yep.
for a while.
Yep.
So many movies.
that's for April.
April.
After we do the March to WrestleMania.
What? That's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's really the March to Wrestle Madness.
Okay.
Yeah,
Russell Madness,
We've
right?
been
Yeah.
sitting on Russell Madness for like a year and a half, haven't we? Like, when did you get it? Was it-
Last Christmas. Christmas 2014.
So you've been sitting on it since then.
Yep.
Fucking
Week of WrestleMania. Is there a better time for a wrestling dog movie? No, there is
Nope.
not.
I submit to you that there is not.
So,
All right. So second half time.
yeah,
All
that's
right.
enough of our
It
planning.
is time for some Golden Jocks talk.
It is.
Get that thing that covers up
yeah.
Chuck on there.
Yeah, I'm going
Oh,
to say if we I don't know, Golden Jocks tend to take us a while, so we might be skipping emails this week. We might cut it off
yeah.
after we get through those.
yeah, it
I
depends on
think
how
so.
long we talk.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we're hitting 11:30, then
Yeah.
I say we cut it off.
Yeah. Well, it's probably more time of the podcast than
Yeah.
our time, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a special episode. Fuck it.
I saw your note in the live stream about him looking like Nathan Fillion, and he is like. I was thinking that during the movie, but I kind of forgot about it once we started talking about it.
Scott's
But he looks like karate Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Karate Nathan Fillion.
Like a couple years ago, they could have made Perfect Weapon 2 without Speakman. But now, nah.
If all the nerds were just like, cast Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, he became the de facto, cast him for everything, so it became the
Yeah.
stop saying Nathan Fillion.
Good
Well, they could do
Idris Elba for the
they
bad
could do
guy.
double impact with Speakman and Fillion.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
not make sense.
No,
Yeah, especially since Speakman's probably...
He's 56.
Yeah. Probably. I
Nathan
was going to say
Fillion's getting up there.
he probably has a good 15 or so years on his Fillion.
Probably.
Maybe 40, maybe 20.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Second half.
yeah, second half. All right, here we go. Just for our own sake of how the podcast is made, I figure we should probably do like honorable mentions. They don't need to be any kind of number, just like things that aren't in your top 5, and then we'll do the 5, 4, 3.
Yep.
2, 1, all the way until we come to a consensus.
Round table.
That sounds fun.
Are we going to go honorable mentions, honorable mentions, honorable mentions?
We can
No,
pick a point. I don't care.
I think honorable mentions, just lump them.
Yeah.
And make it like.
That's what I mean.
30
Like,
seconds each.
do your honorable mentions,
Yeah.
your honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all do them at once.
Yeah, we can pick a start, beginning order. I don't care. All right, I'm going back.
Hey!
Half number 2.
Woo!
And the half of the Golden Jocks.
Hooray!
Welcome to the Golden Jocks.
Yeah.
2015.
Brought to you by Podcast.
Dominoes.
Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets. Hot Podcasts.
Hot
Golden
Podcast.
Jocks.
All of our very well-paying sponsors.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you to all of our sponsors. So
I think we're going to start with we're just going to kind of go around and mention honorable mentions, not
Okay.
quite top 5s, and then we're going to one by one go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
So whoever.
Why don't I start? Because
All
I
right,
never
go for
start
it.
this shit, and
Sure.
I'm actually ready.
Yes.
Go.
Do it.
So it's funny that I only watched 7 2015 movies in 2015.
Not that funny, but
so by default, you have 2 honorable mentions.
That's correct.
Okay.
The interesting thing is that of all of the there's not a stinker in the bunch. I did internet hate one of them, but the 2 that didn't make the cut are Avengers: Age of Ultron, which I thought was a strong movie. There were a lot, I think, stronger movies this year than that. It was really entertaining, but it didn't really stick with me. And Kingsman, which I know a lot of people love, and it's picking up like a groundswell of major support lately, but I thought it was good, and you can listen back to that podcast whenever it was when I talked about it, that I thought it was just kind of there. It was not bad, but I will agree that I rewatched a bit of that church fight scene, and that is pretty damn fantastic. But overall, the movie just didn't have enough to crack the nut. at the
resonate
top.
with you?
Yes.
I don't know why people say that. We're not bells.
I'm a pretty bell.
Oh, okay.
You are. You bell of the ball.
Yeah.
There you go, Chuck.
Yeah. So those are your 2
Yeah.
honorable mentions?
And honestly, if you haven't seen Kingsman, you should see it. You should definitely see it. It's worth
I think we will
Worth a
all
shot.
be echoing that sentiment.
We'll say more about that.
Yeah. Okay, you just want to go around the table here?
Yeah,
Okay,
go for
so honorable mentions. I totaled mine up. I saw 31 2015 movies.
Nice job.
So thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. And overwhelmingly, more than half were 3.5 star and higher. So I think I chose well over the year. That being said, there were a bunch of movies that only got 4 stars, were kind of not top 5 worthy enough. So The Force Awakens, I liked it. There were other movies I liked better. Spectre, I liked that. The Avengers, Ant-Man, San Andreas, Furious 7. These are all just my summer of basically. It's just fun times. And I saw Steve Jobs recently, which we haven't really talked about, but
But he's dead.
the movie.
Oh.
That made
yeah.
it kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the 18 movies about Steve Jobs. I saw the most recent one that.
Yeah, I
Aaron
saw
Sorkin
that movie on TV the other day. It's called iZombie.
wrote. Oh, that's
No?
terrible.
Too soon, Harlow.
Oh, sorry.
That movie's good, not great. It has some scenes in it that are some of the most intense dialogue I've seen in a long time. Is really captivating, but you look at that movie and it's just well, this is a movie about a dude who sold products. It's he's not Jesus. There's almost as many movies about Jesus as there are about Steve Jobs, and it's okay, guys.
No.
Almost as many. That's
That's
a wildly inaccurate statement.
Dude, there are a lot. Dude,
No,
there's
Chuck,
a lot
I'm
of Steve Jobs movies.
I will not let that hyperbole stand.
Whatever. But that's why it's only a honorable mention.
Okay.
So
Honorable.
honorable.
So I saw a lot of movies, but I didn't make a list like Chuck because I was just saying I was very focused on my top 5, and I was really obsessed with moving things in and out of those slots that I didn't make a total list with I usually do. So I don't know how.
so you didn't rank them
Well, I just I had top 5, and then everything else was I think I saw it, but I didn't make a full list, so I can't rattle off every movie I saw.
Okay.
So I may forget some, but my things I wanted to
used
mention.
Letterboxd.
Yeah, things I wanted to mention in the honorable mentions is Star Wars, because it doesn't crack the top 5, but it is very strong. For me, it'd be Creed. I think that is a very strong movie. I would say Lost World, or not Lost World, Jurassic World. Sorry, I'm combining them because I just thought that was probably one of the most stupid fun things I saw in the movies this year. I probably Kingsman. I mean, there's I could almost do an entire other Golden Jocks about freaking spy movies this year.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of good ones. Spectre is very solid. Rogue Nation is very solid. But Kingsman to me is the one that was well, this is different than most of the others. I mean, Man from U.N.C.L.E. is different, but Kingsman is a better different to me. So that's just one I'm gonna single out of all the freaking spy movies I saw this year.
Okay.
So I think that's all my honorable mentions.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I had a bunch of 4-star movies that will all be my honorable mentions. Because I saw a total of 15, I believe, from this year, which I did a lot of catch-up in the past few weeks, so you hear a bit about that. But, Avengers and Ant-Man both made that. Avengers, I felt, was too overstuffed the more I thought back on it. But it's still, there's still... The thing about this year was there was a lot of stuff that I was like, man, this is good, but it's not doing that extra that I want, and that's where the Marvel movies have hit. And Ant-Man probably has the most original stuff that they've done, but it never quite reaches that point of yes, the first time I saw Iron Man was yes, and Ant-Man just doesn't have that, and maybe it's just familiarity is killing those. I'm not sure, but Spectre, it falls apart in that third act, unfortunately, but everything else before that was really great.
Yeah.
Furious 7, I wish I'd never seen the trailers, and I'd probably have a higher opinion of that, but James Wan is definitely not the director Justin Lin is, and that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And Jurassic World, I like it. It's dumb. It's fun. But, I don't want more than that sometimes. If I'm going to have a dinosaur movie, I want it to be doing dumb things, and people doing dumb things getting eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And the best part
Jurassic World
the best thing is you can't even...
Jeff Goldblum.
I don't even want to talk about the end, because that's the best part, and you don't want to say anything about it.
Yeah.
And but just know that there's something awesome coming towards the end of the movie.
It's very satisfying at the end, and that's just one of those movies my brain just can't wrap around why there are so many people that just despise that movie.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I
mean, to me, it's not a great movie by any means. It's an honorable mention, obviously, but it's why do you hate it? Why hate something that's just... It doesn't even feel like it's worth the effort to hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one is one I saw recently, Sicario. It's so close. And that is a weird movie because it's less of a drug movie, and it's almost like a Japanese horror movie where, we've talked about how in American horror movies, there's that whole morality. You do something bad, you're punished for it, and the good person gets to defeat the villain at the end. This is more like Japanese version where it's you weren't really doing anything wrong, you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now you're fucked.
Right.
And that's kind of what that movie is, and it's a combination of that and also kind of a statement on the futility of how the drug trade is. But it's shot by Roger Deakins, so it's going to look fucking phenomenal, and it does. Especially there's a nighttime raid at the kind of end of the second act that's holy God. It just...
Where it goes video game first-person shooter for a while.
But there's infrared shots that just... It's really, really, really good. And that movie is intense through the entire thing. It doesn't drag at all. It's a very tough, bitter pill to swallow. So it's one of those movies that's I know this is good. I don't know if I want to see it again. So, but that was close to cracking my top 5, but it didn't.
Okay.
But I think it is very much worth seeing.
Cool.
All right.
And now...
The top 5.
And now, number 5.
Numero 5.
All right. Coming in at number 5. Top 5. Jurassic World was a good-ass fucking dinosaur movie. There was something there was a lot of giddiness in me watching that movie. It has its problems for sure, but it makes up for it in Dino Carnage and little things like the guy who was apparently Jimmy Buffett running away with the pair of margaritas.
Right.
Like, I love how absolutely incredibly well they nailed the theme park feel of that place, because there's fucking products everywhere, and it looks like a Disney World or Universal or Islands of Adventure or something like that, and
those places are corporate as fuck, and that was perfectly represented.
I thought it was great, and stuff like that, like the little touch of the guy running away with the margaritas, is like how people who can afford to go to a place like fucking Jurassic World on this island in the middle of nowhere, like that's how those people are going to act. Like, oh, dinosaurs are loose, better grab my margaritas and go.
Yeah,
and I know that the characters aren't perfect, and the motivations of the I can't remember her name.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Howard. Yeah,
Ron Howard's kid.
Like, I know that they do shitty things with her character, like her motivations and sort of the lessons that she's learning. But in the middle of that stuff, I think she's doing some awesome shit, and I think they at least partially treat that pretty well. I like Chris Pratt. I think they could have done a lot better with that character, but it's still like a fucking good ass dinosaur movie.
Yeah, it's not like we get many.
It's not. It's not like Jurassic Park 6 or whatever the last one was. The last 2 or 3. It feels like a little bit of a return to, what we liked about Jurassic Park in the first place.
It's the best of the sequels.
Yes, absolutely.
By a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so I read.
Here comes the shit.
No, wait. I read
Coming up number 5, Ridiculous 6.
I read through the rules. I didn't see anything that would.
There aren't any rules.
Exactly. That's why I'm doing this. So hear me out. My choice at number 5 is the slate of documentaries that came out in 2015, and I'm saying that kind of to class up my list, because I think what's going to come next is going to make people mad. But
So you're not picking a single movie?
no. The documentaries of 2015, and I'm specifically talking about like Going Clear and The Death of Superman, and there was a Sinatra documentary, a 2-part documentary.
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, like I think the quality of the
one about
documentaries.
Quiet Riot?
That was 2014, and I didn't want to say it because this one over here is going to fucking ride that to town. I just, there were so many top-notch documentaries, and it's hard to rank a documentary against something else, because it's just, then you have to go by, like, do you care about the topic and how, so...
I don't think that's true, because, like, if I were making some giant list of greatest movies of all time, I would put King of Kong on there. I don't care it's a documentary.
Well, fine. I think there were so many strong documentaries in 2015 that they merited more than an honorable mention, and I just wanted to class up my list a bit.
Oh, 5. My number 5 is powerful women in movies in 2015.
No. I'm not. This isn't political. This is just cultural.
No, is your number 4 the movie Cop Out?
I'll just be quiet.
Right, no, I get what
I'm
you're
okay with it.
I
So-
get what you're saying, but it's like I don't know.
So are you including that Quiet Riot documentary?
No,
in there,
that was
too?
2014.
Oh, damn it.
What about the Skid Row documentary?
What's your number 5, Harlow?
So no, Chuck. What movies? Like, if you're going to say documentaries of 2015, like,
Going Clear,
He said them.
the Scientology documentary.
yeah.
The Death of Superman Return, or The Death of Superman Lives.
What happened?
What happened?
It's a terrible title, by the
Yep.
way. That I almost want to disqualify it for that title and for the guy doing all the interviews, because man, he just fucking nods his head off during the entire movie. Like when people are talking, he's just doing the I'm listening to you, and it's like, dude, stop. There was a Sinatra documentary on HBO that was like 5 hours long. It was really comprehensive, really good. Just there was a good slate of documentaries this year. So
Cool.
I'm not sure about any of this, but all right.
didn't know if there were any
Fucking deal
extra
with
ones
it.
you wanted to single out.
I am dealing with it in my own way by mocking you. So my number 5 is Inside Out. Inside Out is the movie that replaced Jurassic World off of number 5, because that's how much I like Jurassic World. But I liked Inside Out that much more. As I said when I was reviewing it earlier, I could argue, and I might, that it's probably my favorite Pixar movie to date, because it feels like this kind of culmination of everything Pixar has been doing over the years into this one movie. Like, to me, just kind of like taking it beyond like that moment of like nailing a certain part of your life. Like Toy Story would nail like aspects of your childhood, and this feels like this nails all of childhood. And like, you know, like the mental states that you go through throughout childhood, and it's way more heady. I mean, literally, because it's, you know, personalities in your head. But I just feel like it just kind of like takes everything that Pixar has done and does it, you know, possibly better. I know it's probably blasphemy to most people that it's, you know, I would say it's the best Pixar. I don't care. I really enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
You should rank your favorite Pixar movies.
I totally should. I will make a listicle about that.
I've heard a few people have done that.
Yeah. So, Inside Out, number 5.
Cool.
An actual movie.
Single one. There you go. All right. My number 5 is Dope.
What is it?
What is
Dope.
Right. I get you're describing it, but what is it?
My number 5 is pretty dope, too.
Yeah. It was, it's an indie film about coming of age. But no, it's the story of this group of dorky inner city teens living out in California, who it starts out feeling like a weird slice of life type thing, where there are these weird kids. They love early 90s hip hop, so the movie already has a phenomenal soundtrack just due to that. But they also have their own little band that they've made where they play their own songs, which are really good as well. And they're written by Pharrell, so they're catchy as shit.
Oh.
But man, that's one of those movies it's willing to take a lot of chances because it's a little indie movie thing, and it's willing to do quirky stuff on screen and have weird narration from Forrest Whitaker throughout about this dorky kid who's basically like a straight A student, got a perfect SAT, but he's an inner city dude, so he's going to have trouble getting anything, like getting anywhere in life. And when that interacts with the fact that he's met a drug dealer who has a really hot girlfriend, and he kind of is having trouble with her, so he makes our main character interact back and forth with her, like give her messages. And basically the girl invites him to the drug dealer's birthday party, and he gets tangled up in a whole bunch of crazy shit from there involving drugs and other stuff that he's been trying to avoid all the time.
Including dope?
Yes, including dope. But it's more fun when it's a slice of life thing and it's not trying to have a plot.
Yeah.
And once they introduce plot, it's kind of like Office Space in that way, where like Office Space is a lot of fun when it's just like, here's Peter doing this crazy shit, and you know, and like just being sarcastic, and
then it becomes a heist movie.
Yeah. And it's a similar structure to that, but everyone in it's really great. Like, it's weird that one of his best friends is the lobby boy from Grand Budapest Hotel, and he's a completely different dude. And he has like a lesbian best friend that's hilarious throughout, and one of the dudes from Workaholics shows up in it later as kind of a drug dealer as well. And there's just a lot of good, funny stuff throughout, and a lot of likable characters with a really good soundtrack, and a lot of interesting filmmaking going on, even if it gets a little too Sundancey by the end of it, because, you know, they've got like writing the college application letter, and that's kind of your framing thing. It's like, like some of that stuff doesn't work, which is why it doesn't get higher. But it's a fun movie, and it's weird that Aesop Rock is the drug dealer friend, and he's really good in it. Like, he's super charismatic, and he's just a really fun character. And it's a movie full of fun characters. So I liked it a lot. So you should probably check out Dope. Especially if you like early 90s hip hop as well.
Yeah.
Because it's all over the soundtrack, and it's really good.
Cool.
Numero quattro?
C.
14.
No, that's 14.
Speaking of fun characters, some of yeah,
man, the segue to end all segues.
Yeah, it is. This is all also like the micro budget indie darling frou-frou film school bastard pick to yeehaw, nitrous, let's fucking go. Furious 7 comes
Oh,
in.
all right. Yeah, well, that hot indie joint.
Yeah. I said
I know.
indie to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's
More like Indy 500.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
From Independent to Indianapolis. Furious 7. It is not the greatest of the last three, the trilogy, the finest trilogy,
the
the modern
modern
trilogy
trilogy.
of Fast and Furious movies.
Well,
But-
this would be like the quadrilogy because it started in 4, despite 4 not being very good.
4 is still not good.
But I mean,
Right.
but the storyline.
5, 6, and 7.
5 started a thing where you're like,
Okay,
Right.
holy
whatever.
shit, these movies.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
5 was the first one I saw in the theater. so-
Fine. It's the beginning of the Rock trilogy.
Yeah,
the
yes,
Rock trilogy.
There it is. The Rock trilogy.
This is. It's hard to say that it's the least of them, but it still feels weird overall. Like, it's a great summer blockbuster action flick. There's just some ludicrous shit in it. But again, had I not seen any of the trailers, this is what started me not watching trailers for movies. Like, I'll watch one and done. I
Yeah.
almost went down that rabbit hole with The Force Awakens. I watched like a trailer, then I watched another one, and somebody like linked me to a Chinese trailer. I'm like, oh, I'll watch that. Oh man, that's really cool. I want to know all about this. Wait. So this is the one that started to that was the last one to be ruined by its trailers for me. But if you can kind of roll your mind back to before, like maybe give yourself some time in between viewings so that you forget all the fantastic set pieces and crazy things that they did.
Yeah.
It probably will turn out to be better. There's a little, like, the camera is kind of sleazy in this one, which is something that they had gotten away from in 5 and 6. But it's still a damn fine, like, crazy action movie in some points. And the send-off for Paul Walker in the end is, although cheesy and intentionally meant to make you feel strong emotions,
It achieves it.
achieves it. It's good. Like, it's a good send-off. And again, it feels a little bit weird because of some of the stuff they had to shoot around Paul Walker's death. But still, like I said, kick-ass summer action movie, and that's my number 4. I have nothing else to say about it.
Okay.
I'm going to start repeating myself if I have to keep talking.
I'll go. So my number 4 is Terminator Genesis, which I think I've made the case for because I've talked about it twice on the show. It is the dumbest of fun that I realize people hated. I don't quite understand the vitriol against the movie, but whatever. I don't take my time travel so seriously. It's all dumb anyway, so this movie kept giving me what I wanted, and it did it over and over and over again. I was totally okay with it. I was totally okay with everything they did. I'm not some Terminator 1 and 2 are the only things that matter bullshit guy. That's just not me. So, yeah, that movie's just huge dumb fun. And I've seen it twice, and I already want to see it again. So
That's it. We're done. All right.
That's it.
Okay, so my number 4, I guess I'll be very brief about because mine is also dope. Coming in at number 4.
But what is it?
Haha, that does work again. Yeah, pretty much all the things you said. I think I liked it a little bit more than you, maybe because it's one rank higher. When it goes, I'm saying like when it goes like
Stands to reason.
I'm just saying like when it goes a little wacky. Like I think I'm a little bit more okay with it. Like I kind of like the wacky ending, and I actually think that I don't know. I don't want to get spoilery about the end with the letter, but like they telegraph that. And I like the I don't know the kind of setup for that.
Yeah, I guess it's just my complaint about it is it's kind of become like a Sundance cliche type.
I know,
thing.
but I think it's actually playing on that. Like I don't know. I don't want to. Like I said,
No,
it gets
I
a
can
little.
see that
It gets a little bit too much into the end of the movie that I don't really want to go there. But I kind of liked it all throughout, and it's weird because like 1 and 2, my number 1 and 2 have been locked for a long time, and like I feel like 3 and 4 and 5 have been jumping around in position, and I've just settled on like I think Dope lands at number 4. So I'm just thinking about how much I remember things about them and dope lands about number 4, and I've still really enjoyed it. So.
All right, my number 4 is Kingsman: The Secret Service. That movie is the anti-Marvel movie. Every time they have a chance to go the safe route, they say fuck that and do something ridiculous. And it's also it feels like a love letter to Roger Moore era Bond movies by people who are like, you know what? Those were good. I liked those. They were crazy, they were stupid, but they were good. And even if you don't agree that Roger Moore era was good, it's still like you watch this and like I wonder what the world would be like if we had 4 Colin Firth movies as James Bond instead of Daniel Craig. What that would have been like, because that's kind of what this movie proposes in the beginning.
Yep.
Except it's a case of, all right, here's James Bond training a new James Bond. And you kind of get a lot of that, but it's also got the Matthew Vaughn like style, so to speak, where he's adapting a Mark Miller comic,
Which he helped co-write.
Yeah, which he helped co-write, but it's like got that mean streak going on that all Mark Miller's stuff seems to end up having eventually, and I think that's why a lot of people have been turned off by it. But it has flat out the best action scene of the year is the Freebird church scene that closes out the second act of that movie. And the problem is, it's like Pacific Rim, it peaks there. The third act is good, and it's got some solid action, but I don't think it's like you've hit your showstopper. You've hit like, holy fuck, did that scene just happen? And the rest of the movie can't catch up to it.
Yep.
And there's one decision I don't totally agree with, but I know a lot of people absolutely love that happens near the end of that movie where the whole pomp and circumstance thing happens. That's just so ludicrous, but I appreciate that they go for it, that they're like, fuck it. Like, we are just making the most insane movie we can. And that's kind of what I want out of a comic book movie these days. Whereas, like, Marvel and, James Bond are just like, no, we can't go there. And this movie's like, fuck you. You can go there. Let's do this. And I think that's what I loved. It's like, to me, it has a kinetic love of making movies and telling stories the way movies do that few other things this year had.
It has no filter on it.
No.
There's
none.
not like a...
None.
There's no idea not... there's no point where they were just like, yeah, maybe not. We probably shouldn't do that. It's just, you got an idea? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that right now. And let's do it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's... I really... I was shocked how much I love that movie. It's really good. But that's my number 4.
Cool. BJ3.
Speaking of spy movies, slick segue again.
Pretty smooth.
King of the slick segues here tonight.
Yeah.
A little movie called Spectre.
Oh. Who's in that?
Comes in at number 3. The guy, there's a guy that was
Some
in
guy
one of
with
those
2 first names, right?
Yeah,
Can't trust him.
No, there was a guy that was in one of those Tarantino movies. He was in it.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, I think so.
As James Bond.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve Bond Shimmy. No, Spectre, we've said it, and a lot of people have said it. It is sort of a James Bond's greatest hits movie. It's the greatest hits album of James Bond movies. I love that it opens on a parade, like the Dia de los Muertos parade. Like, I love that. Like Mackie has said many times, the third act is a little wonky, but it kind of wraps itself up okay. And it just feels like it almost feels a bit like a love letter to Bond movies for the first 2 acts, and I really enjoy that, especially out of Daniel Craig, because it's something that I keep wanting to see out of him is more like, because I believe in him more and more as Bond. I want to see more and more of him,
right?
Giving classic Bond scenarios, the Daniel Craig treatment, and we get a fair amount of that, and I like that. I like polished Daniel Craig Bond. I think is really like.
Right. Well, the first two movies felt like training wheels. Like, I'm not really Bond yet. I'm just trying to
Right.
get there.
Yeah.
And then, like, it seems like it's a little unfortunate. Like, this is the last that it is such a production to make a James Bond movie now that he's kind of done with it already after 4 movies. And
Right.
like now he's just kind of getting into the groove of like now you can just be James Bond.
Exactly.
He looked like he was having fun at points.
Yeah.
Where normally before he had not been having any fun.
He looked very uncomfortable, and the character was very dour because of all the things that kept happening to him. And he just hadn't been elevated to that. Hey, Bond, how about a mission? And you go on it, and you stop the world from being destroyed.
Right.
It never even
Yeah.
that never happened.
This
like
one-
you said, he never just walked into M's office, got a case, and then went out and did it. He was just rogue all the time.
Exactly. This was another case of rogue Bond, and like it's like they suffered, like they really thought they had to make Jason Bourne movies for the first 2, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we actually have to make Bond movies, and it's a shame that we only got 2 Bond movies out of Daniel Craig instead of getting 4.
Yeah.
And it's a shame we won't get any more.
If you believe the press.
There might be a big sack of money waiting for him.
But Daniel Craig himself has said he's done with it. So
That
They've
could be a
said-
ploy to get
Sean
money.
Connery said that once as well.
I believe Robert Downey Jr. quit being Iron Man 4 years ago.
Yeah.
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 So
it happens.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, at least as it stands now, we probably, quote unquote, probably won't.
As of this recording.
As of this recording, yeah. We'll look back on these archives later when I am wrong, and we'll celebrate the fact that I was wrong.
Yes. Favorite
as-
this episode, RT it later.
Right.
When he's wrong.
R on your T's.
But but yeah, I think it's easily crept up into my top, probably close to my top 10, and I think it has also helped push Skyfall higher up into my up into my favorite Bond films as well.
It does kind of reinforce how good Skyfall was.
Yeah, and it's not that it's bad, because obviously it's good. It made
Right.
it made number 3 on my list, because I just fucking love Bond movies, and Christoph Waltz is just. I love Christoph Waltz being that nutty, just kind of. Oh, I'm going to just be a little bit weird for now. Ha ha ha! Look, I'm tap dancing.
Yeah.
I just love that. I find that incredibly charming and fun, and it's especially fun for a Bond movie. I like them to be a little bit fun, obviously. So, really happy that this movie went as well as it did.
Yeah. Well, if you want fun in a Bond movie, let me tell you about my number 3.
Is it Kingsman: The Secret Service?
No, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I've already talked about
That's
that
not a
one as
Bond
well
movie.
twice on the show, but it is the kind of Bond movie that you used to get gadgets and crazy plots and lots of big set piece action scenes. It's just incredibly clever without shoving it in your face how clever it is. And for Tom Cruise to still be doing this, you think back to the first Mission Impossible and what that movie was. And then you look at this and you're like, man, these are all completely different things. And they're all entertaining in their own ways. And that dude he's going to die on a movie set. That's just...
At some point.
Well, he got all the Thetans out or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point they're going to be like, hey, we want the stunt where you fly into space and we want you to actually do it. And he's going to be like, yeah. And then,
Like, we're not giving you a rocket. We want you to fly into space. We're going to strap some rockets to you.
yeah. And how would that be? We'll strap a GoPro to you and we'll get all the footage we need. Cool, go. And then that'll be it for Tom Cruise. But until then,
I'm pretty sure that's actually what Scientology is about.
I think so. That's
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty
a
sure, like,
plateau or
yeah,
some
I'm pretty
shit.
sure like the space DC-10 after that.
Yeah, that's that. You just fly
climb
around
aboard
and-
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Priority seating.
Tom Cruise is. Our Star Alliance members may board Tom Cruise at this time.
Those in the series section can sit now.
But yeah, that movie's just a lot of fun and worth seeing.
Very good.
Oh, okay. Number 3 for me. I had to follow you with number 3, so it would be a fit that it follows is my number 3.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, It Follows.
That's a joke.
It feels like it was a long time ago that I talked about this, so I will speak a little bit more about it again.
Okay.
This movie, let me back up and say I'm going to go on record and now officially internet hate the movie Halloween because internet hate. Hold on. I get Halloween. I get Halloween's significance in the movie lexicon of things. Mm-hmm. I just personally don't enjoy watching Halloween as often as a lot of other people do. It's one of those movies I can look at and go, I know what you did. I know what you did for the genre. Thank you, but we've moved on from you, and I don't need you anymore, kind of thing. It's kind of like how a lot of people look at things like Citizen Kane, where I don't, but I'm saying, like, you can look at Citizen Kane, and you're not watching Citizen Kane every year going, man, Citizen Kane, look at all the shit it did for filmmaking.
Yeah. You watch it once
right.
and go, eh.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So Halloween, for me, is kind of like that, is like the Citizen Kane of horror movies, in that, for that genre, it's just a thing. But, like, It Follows was, like... that plus more and modernized, and I just loved it. Like, I mean, from the opening shot, which is I get it. Don't come at me with like it's aping everything from Halloween. I get that it is. Mm-hmm. But like I just it's rare for me to see a movie that affects me as much as that one did. And like that one, like, not in a horror movie sense, it just haunted me for days. I just kept thinking about that movie and thinking about shots in that movie and how the pace of that movie played out, and I loved it, and that's why it's as high on my list as it is. Mm-hmm. That was a first watch love movie, and there might be another one on this list later. Like,
I bet there will be.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Star Wars at this point is part of my DNA. I have a lot of trouble like rationally analyzing Star Wars, like looking at the movies and going, okay, and trying to pick things like even looking at watching Return of the Jedi and going, man, the second act kind of drags here. Like even my brain was like, it does, but I don't care because it's fucking Star Wars.
Star Wars, you shut up, brain.
Yeah, and that's probably why the prequels frustrate me so much, because it's like in my brain I still think of ways to fix them when I watch them. And this one, there wasn't a point where I was watching Force Awakens going, how can I fix this? How can I make it? I was just immediately with it. Like it was immediately like, okay, I'm back in this world and something new is happening, even if, there's debate about the structure being as new as it is.
Right.
But I love Rey. I love Finn. I even like Kylo Ren as a villain. I think, all of that stuff worked for me.
Don't forget Poe.
Okay. Yeah. Poe. Yeah. Okay. Poe.
We didn't get enough of Poe to really get a feel for him. But he is dreamy.
Yeah. But I still I enjoyed the hell out of it. And looking back on it later, it's like I couldn't really nitpick it either and be like, okay, well, why did this happen and this happen? I mean, yeah, you can say, okay, the scene with the pirates and the things going through the ship is kind of, you could lose that and it doesn't really change much. There's stuff like that, but there's stuff like that in all of those movies.
Yeah, I was going to say that to me is the most disappointing scene. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's more
not.
disappointing.
Yeah, it's never bad.
It's most disappointing because of who's in that scene
in it
and the fact that it goes nowhere.
Yeah. But regardless of all that, I will say this should have been my number 1 movie, but it's not. Just because of who I am and how much I love Star Wars, that J.J. Abrams was able to pull it off and not. And I know it's faint praise to say make it better than the prequels, but make it better than the prequels that the original guy made, and to have everyone excited about Star Wars again and looking forward to a new Star Wars again.
Get it back on track.
Feels so good.
Yeah,
it feels great. I don't know any other way to put it. That makes me happy just as much as watching the movie made me happy.
I think I said it on Twitter or somewhere. It feels good to feel good about Star Wars again.
Yes. That's probably the best way to put it. The thing I ponder about is I wonder if, years from now, we're going to look back at this movie and have a deeper love for it, because I feel like the world made us want to hate this movie, and the movie had to dig its way out of that.
Against all odds.
Well, because I mean, you were coming up against the prequels, and then you were coming up against fucking Star Wars everywhere,
Yeah.
like Star Wars branded toilet paper, and the shit awakens, and like I just like, I mean, like literally, it was just like everything that doesn't make any sense.
the
Like
Disney machine
like
went full fucking
the
force.
charcoal brand of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Ignite your lightsaber on the grill
Yoda
today.
grapes and
There are-
BB-8 oranges. And
There are literally like Darth Vader lightsaber barbecue tongs I saw in the store. Like
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, there's-
every fucking thing that you could put a logo on.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the world is like, I feel like the world is against us, Star Wars, but yet it's enduring through that, and people at this point really should be like, fuck, say Star Wars to me one more time, because every commercial break, it's 3 fucking things about
Yep.
Star Wars. Still,
It is.
and I don't even watch TV, and I know this. I've just been
Yeah.
sitting places. I'm like, fuck, it's another thing of Star Wars on the TV there.
Yeah.
And car commercials, fucking Star Wars Dodge commercials. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Everybody should be so fucking sick of this movie, but we're not.
Nope. The movie managed to outdo that.
Right.
There's
Overcome.
a good reason.
Yep.
Yep. I want it to be higher, but it's not, because there's 2 movies that are better, according to me.
Yep. Well, let's get to them. Number 2, BJ.
Well, one movie that made it higher, that I'm going to guess is one that's made it higher. Mad Max Fury Road is my number 2 pick. There is nothing that I can say about Mad Max, nothing good about Mad Max that I can say that has not already been said. The only thing wrong with that movie is a little bit of the CG in the stupid dust storm scene. Everything other than that, I fucking love. I love the way it treats its characters. I love the way it treats people. I love the way it tells a story. I love the way it looks. I love the stupid fucking ridiculous wasteland cars stacked on cars and the fucking doof wagon and a flame-throwing guitar and guys swinging back and forth on big sticks, and then interesting, sensitive treatment of characters at the same time. Like, I think it's fucking magical what they managed to do with a Mad fucking Max movie. Like, you take just wasteland post-apocalypse fantasy, like it's the previous movies are just sort of like I'm gonna go fucking kick ass in the wasteland, I'm gonna rule, it's a lot of crazy power fantasy stuff.
Yep.
But this is in the same universe, and all the same things still kind of apply, but they're they're people, they're people with real feelings and stories, and it's one of these reboot kind of movies where the main character doesn't, like, they don't fall all over themselves trying to jerk off the main character. And that's a bit of
That's
a crass
true, that
way.
doesn't happen.
That's a bit of a crass way to put it, but
No,
they
I get
don't.
it.
But they don't
Yeah.
They don't go out of their way to go, "Hey, look, it's fucking Max Rockatansky. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him!"
Yeah.
That's probably why he's
Like,
mad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably it.
Hey,
There's no
recognition.
Yeah, there's no like hero worship for for hero's sake. He's just there to like move the plot along, and I know that
He's
that
a
happens.
device.
He's and at some points literally he's a device.
Yeah.
But it's a magical thing to come out of something from a director who's what 70-something years old.
70 years old.
70 years old.
And had been making Babe movies.
Right.
He made the second Babe movie, not even the first one.
Oh, yeah.
He made the first
He made
one?
both of
Yeah,
them.
he made both.
I thought he was just the second one.
No.
Yeah.
I thought he was like a director for hire on the second one. No, okay. All right.
Nope. That was his baby.
Hey, why are you saying that like that's a bad thing?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it. You could not make a more
I will
different.
fight you if you were over
no,
Babe.
no.
Well, and it's a very
Perhaps
different
he-
movie
Wanna
from
see
the
my
other ones.
Fury
Yeah.
Road?
Yeah.
Perhaps he learned a bit of sensitivity from the Babe movies.
Maybe.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
it's well applied in these. And like I said, it's balls to the wall, screaming, shooting, truck action with amazingly well treated characters and deft touch.
Yeah.
A deft touch.
Yeah.
Only complaint is that the CG in that dust storm scene, and
That's just movies now.
yeah, I mean that's such a pittance of a complaint.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's it. I could talk about Mad Max for hours, I think.
And people should. I'm not going to talk about it yet. Because, so, when I started last weekend's, oh my god, gotta watch all the 2015 movies, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen Kingsman yet. I should probably see that. Kingsman is my number 2 pick of the year. Kingsman is fucking awesome. That movie won me over like a movie hasn't. Like, going into it with zero like, I remember you guys talking about it on the podcast. I remember one of you like really liking it, and one of you kind of being indifferent to it, and I was like, well, who knows. That movie to me, I hate saying this, but it's also accurate in several ways. That movie to me is kind of like Pulp Fiction in that I had no expectations. I had no idea where it was going. Along the way, there were jumping off points where if I had been in the theater, I know exactly when people would have gotten up and grabbed their wife or whatever and said, we're leaving this fucking stupid-ass movie. Because when I saw Pulp Fiction in the theater like 7 times, and every time I could pinpoint exactly like, those people are going to get up. And they did. They got up and walked out. There's that movie, to me, I just won me over in ways I just was not expecting. And like the church scene was like, when it started happening, I was like, oh dear, this is really going for it, isn't it? But by the end of it, I was just like, yeah, all right, that's something else. And then, you know, the scene towards the end when Macho Man's music hits, and I'm like, wait, what is Macho Man coming into this movie? And then, I mean, I know the music is something else, but the imagery that follows that, I just like threw my hands up in the air. I was like, fuck everything. This is the best thing I've ever seen. This is just the most fun, dumb thing ever. I don't care. This is so good. And I was worried when that movie started. I felt like it was overwritten. I thought it was being too clever. And I really am hating that of late when something seems so refined and so written that it's like, this doesn't sound natural. This is too gimmicky. But that kind of watered down along the way, like especially once the actual plot kicked in, that I was totally okay with it. And I since then have been just telling everyone I can find, hey, it's on HBO Go. You need to watch Kingsman.
Yeah. Right
now. And I'm so glad that I sat down to watch that.
Yeah, to me, it's a lot like Detention, where it's like once you know whether you're in or out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And if you've locked in with it, you're going to love it. Yep. And if you haven't, like nothing that comes later is going to change your mind.
Yep. Yeah, yes, the Detention thing is perfect because I remember that we were all sitting around watching that going, I don't know, this movie's really overdoing it with the dialogue, and then it settled down and was pretty great. But man, movie just worked on every level for me, just every level. Loved it.
My number 2, I think we just talked about it. Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah,
that is my number 2 movie of the year.
Witness me.
So, Mad Max Fury Road for me had a little speed bump to get over because of early hype. Like, so I think, like I was talking about, like when I saw It Follows, it was just like I knew almost nothing about that movie, so it just hit me in that way that you need a movie just to be fresh and like, I don't really know what I'm getting in for, and then wow, you know, that kind of thing. And I think that helps when you go in a little bit like Kingsman. You're viewing, you're probably mixed, and I don't know what to think about this. And holy shit, like just hit you at the right time.
Right.
So Fury Road kind of had to overcome that, and I managed to because I ended up seeing I think 3 times in the theater, once 3D and then twice not. So and the non 3D really helped my second viewing. I was like, yeah, I like that a lot better not in 3D. So yeah, it kind of had some hurdles to jump over, but man, does it jump over some hurdles, and it's pretty fucking fantastic. Like once I got over them, it launches off of them at 90 miles an hour and doesn't stop. So yeah, Mad Max Fury Road. I think we've covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 2 as well.
Nice.
It is.
Good job.
I watched
Good
it
job,
last
guys.
weekend again. First time I'd seen it since the theater, and that's like the ultimate show don't tell movie. You know, that's like the golden rule of movies is show people, don't tell them. And that movie is so ridiculously visual already. It was weird watching it at home, that shots that I had forgotten from watching it in the theater. I was like, holy fuck. Like when they're actually driving into the storm and they do that ridiculously long shot where the trucks are just like little pinpricks on the horizon, and you have this storm that's taking up a third of the screen, arcing over them. Like so many amazing visuals going on in that movie, but also so much character information that's conveyed just by certain things and subtle things that the characters are doing. And it's never, just like the whole, a lot of people talk about when Furiosa takes the shot and Max basically uses his shoulder. They don't say anything in that entire scene.
Yep.
No words are spoken.
He takes
two shots,
and then he's like, you.
But I mean, and there's just so much stuff that, my wife watching it was like, wait, what did that mean? And I knew to tell her just because I was like, okay, because you saw that, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like there's so much implied world going on in that, which I love. That it's the movie has room to breathe with that, but it's also like a half dozen fucking amazing action scenes. I say Kingsman had the best action scene of the year, which it did for me, but that's probably because I can't pick a scene out of Fury Road that's like, this is the best one. Is it the first time they get in the fist fight when he first comes up to the truck and he's still trying to get the chain off of him? Mm-hmm. Is it that escape from the whole, when he tries to escape the first time? Is it when they go into the storm the first time? Is it when they're coming back through the canyon? Which all those scenes are fucking amazing. And it's a 2-hour chase movie that barely lets up. I mean, there's breathing room in there.
But yeah, I was going to say there is a lot of, like, it does give you a lot of room to breathe. Like, it's got pauses where you can catch your breath and kind of go, all right, and I'll get my heart rate down a little bit, and then, oh my God, there he goes again.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a pace to it that works, and and then just once it gets going at the end, it just does not let up. But it's some of the best visual filmmaking we'll see, I think, for a while. And it's so much imaginative stuff. I'm not a fan of the flamethrower guitar guy. I think that's kind of dorky.
What are you, an idiot?
But people love it. But people love it. So that's why I'm cool with it. I'd rather they do fun, cool things, like basically having a band that gets all of their dudes pumped up.
Yeah,
is what that is.
Yeah.
And like when you think about it,
that's so fucking wasteland, though.
It makes so much sense.
Yes, it does.
Like,
in that universe,
if you want people
totally
to jump
does.
from one moving car to another, risking life and limb,
you better have a goddamn rock band with a flamethrower.
You better
guitar.
have a taiko drum truck with a flaming guitar guy on it.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, and that's also, it's also a throwback to, pre-modern warfare where you would have like a drum and fife corps, or just war drummers. There is such a thing as a fucking war drummer,
right.
And beat the drums of war. That's because they used to actually beat the fucking drums of war.
If they'd had electric guitars,
if they had the electric guitars,
it would have been
I
a
love that
very
it
small amount of
becomes-
time where they put the flamethrower on them too.
Yeah, his guitar stuff becomes the soundtrack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, we could spend hours analyzing all the little touches, but there are
So
a
many
thousand
depth
things
touches,
going on, and they're never pointed out specifically. Just like Furiosa's arm, never mentioned.
Nope.
Not mentioned by anyone throughout the entire movie, and
they handle that well because she's not like it doesn't define her, and it also she doesn't she's not crippled because of it. It's just a thing that is part of her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a great movie. It's my number 2.
Yeah, it's yeah, really good.
Number 1.
Number 1. And the number 1 movie of all time, according to 2015. Real quick, Kyle's fucking comment, Five Corpse, cover band thing. That was really good. That distracted me.
Good job, Kyle.
So, if you couldn't guess, my number 1 movie for 2015 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and it gets the number 1 spot for one really important reason, and that is it felt like they made a Star Wars movie again. They didn't make a...
Oh god, you're talking about Star Wars? Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of Star Wars now.
Yeah. But they made a fucking Star Wars movie. They made a Star Wars movie like I remember Star Wars movies being before they fucked them up. And honestly, they fucked them up, and I'm can't abide by apologists of the prequels anymore, because there are apologists out there. They're like, oh well, it's actually not a bad movie, and there's actually it's usually George Lucas that's the apologist, but there's actually some really good things in those. I don't give a shit.
There are good things in them, just like on a whole, no.
But yeah, but that, like, the prequels were a giant blow to Star Wars fans and being able to feel good about being a Star Wars fan. Because if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to kind of lump that in there. And people go, well, those movies were really shitty. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. We get it. We know that they were bad. Everybody knows that they're bad. And then somehow magically, against, obviously it's Disney money and it's J.J. Abrams and amazing cast and good writers, but against the odds, they made a Star Wars movie that actually felt like a fucking Star Wars movie and made me feel like I felt the first time I watched the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. Like, it got me excited about space and like crazy weird space people.
You want to own a lightsaber right now, and you want to fly an X-Wing right now.
Right, you want it, like, I wanted fucking Battlefront. I was like, oh my god, I want Battlefront now. Like, obviously the Disney marketing machine is working, and working well, but they did a really good job with this movie, and it made me give a shit about Star Wars again. And that's a feeling that I missed, and feeling good about Star Wars is a feeling that I missed. And like I said earlier, and like I've said before, like on Twitter, I feel good about feeling good about Star Wars. And the way I felt is many emotions, and as giddy and happy as I was watching that movie. Like, I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, and I'm just like batting her on the shoulder, like, oh my god, this is happening.
She loved that.
She was she's into it.
Okay.
Shoulder slapping?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's our thing.
Cool.
But just to be able to be that excited about Star Wars means more to me than Mad Max being as good as it is. Additionally, the movie is really fucking good. It looks right. It sounds right. I know it's got a lot of beats from A New Hope kind of wrapped up in it, but it works so well as a new kind of breath into the Star Wars universe. And I love the characters. I love Rey. I love Finn. Poe. I don't know if I love him yet, but like I said, he's
You're
cute.
so on Poe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Poe. So. I love BB-8. Like, BB-8 showed up and immediately was super fucking charming.
Yep.
Not a dumb... The things that were supposed to be cute were cute and not dumb cute. The things that are supposed to be cool are cool and not dumb cool. I don't know.
Well, all right. So the biggest thing is, like, when BB-8 busts out secret powers you didn't know he has, you're like, fuck yeah! Instead of like, oh my god, really?
Oh,
like, not like, oh, he's got fucking
and
rocket shoes. Great. Yeah. Like, that should be, like, the people making it were like, this is gonna be so cool. Everybody like, oh my god. Everyone's like, oh my god, the wrong kind.
Yeah. You're not. It's not facepalm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so yeah, I have a few nitpicks about The Force Awakens, but in a movie like this, you're going to have a couple nitpicks. It's a mass market, massive movie, so there are a few things that obviously you can poke at. But the thing that it really nails is that feeling that makes me feel like I'm watching A New Hope.
That feeling that you've not had for a long time.
Yes, exactly. The Force, and it's like it's the dumbest thing, but the subtitle of the movie, The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
It's the fucking Star Wars universe is awakening again, and I feel so good about it, and I'm so happy about it.
And we only have a year and a half to the next one. Mm-hmm. We don't have to wait 3 years.
And we've got a year till Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just under a year till Rogue One.
So yeah, it's going to be all Star Wars all the time. So get ready.
Yes,
saddle up. I'm so excited about it. Like,
well, if we get 3 Marvel movies a year, why not?
A
couple of Star Warses.
And this is a universe that I'm actually invested in. never been a big comics guy, so super excited. Like, Christmas between my girlfriend and I was all Star Wars paraphernalia. So
Nice.
it's just, I love it. I'm so happy about it, and that's the only, like, that visceral glee is the only reason that it ekes out Mad Max Fury Road, which I think is probably a superior film. But it didn't do it. Like,
You weren't waiting with
TFA.
bated breath for the next entry in the Mad Max series.
Correct.
It just happened to be really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd venture it with amazing.
Well,
out.
I wasn't waiting with bated breath for the next Mad Max movie, especially after watching Beyond Thunderdome, because, But it doesn't come as any surprise the way I've talked about that movie since it came out. Mad Max is the best thing I've seen all year, by leaps and bounds, by far. I can remember sitting here talking about it on the podcast. Well, I wasn't actually talking about it. It's like you three were talking about it, and I was just sort of sitting back and processing it. And Harlow said something to the effect of, I don't know if I call that movie art or anything, and that's when I was like, no, that movie's art. That movie's a work of art. And that was basically like all I could do to verbalize how I felt about that movie. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen something so well conceived before, so completely thought out, and so, like everyone has said, the whole show don't tell thing. It's a remarkable way to tell something familiar and basically make a movie that is nothing but a third act for the entire time, and it never wears out its welcome. Like, every time something happens, I'm not like, all right, move on with it. It's like, yeah, more of this, that's great. I would like more of that. Yeah, keep doing that. Oh, it's over. I could do it with another couple hours of this. I'll watch it again. I haven't felt that way about a movie in a long time, and it's my top film. Nothing comes close. Not even remotely close.
Okay. I don't know if there's quite as much gap between my movies, but my number one movie is possibly coming in from out of nowhere. Maybe like
Randy K. Orton?
little Deus Ex Machina. Ex Machina is my number one movie of the year. I mean, man, talk about a movie just like on first viewing, you're like, yep, that's how you make a movie. Like, just everything about that, like, wow, just jaw dropped. You know, this is how you write a movie, this is how you direct a movie, this is how I want a movie to look, this is how I want acting to go in a movie. I like talky bits with not very many characters, and, you know, dialogue is important, and like nothing crazy happens, but there's awesome special effects. So like it kind of has like everything I want in a movie all rolled into one. It's like it's science fiction, but it's that like Moon style science fiction where it's talky and, you know, small and intimate and not blow shit up kind of thing, which I don't get me wrong, my number two is Mad Max, so I like blowing shit up. But like this is just like, man, this is my thing, this is my jam. Ex Machina. I cannot believe that's a first time directing effort from a person. That's just wow. Like, way to take good notes, you know, with your time writing in Hollywood or hiring a hell of a cinematographer and people to work around you, because that movie is just amazing.
I agree, because that's my number one.
Okay.
Wow.
Mad Max and Ex Machina went back and forth for a while, but after rewatching Mad Max, I knew. Ex Machina is one of those movies that when you're done, you want to talk to everyone on Earth about it. You want to talk to anyone who will talk to you back about Ex Machina. It's the smartest movie I've seen this year, I'll say that. It's also the most meticulously made. Like, everything in it, nothing feels wasted in any way. Every shot lasts exactly as long as it needs to. Every word that's said feels like exactly what it was supposed to be. It feels like when you've written a draft of something and you've written 20 drafts to get it to exactly where you want it. That's what this movie feels like. It feels like he never had to compromise anything he did in making it. He didn't have to change anything. He got the exact performances he wanted out of his characters. And it's also a movie that when you watch it one time, you watch it from a certain character's perspective. When you watch it the next time, you watch it with a completely different perspective because you're watching it as the other character. And there's something amazing about a movie like that, where the second watch can be a completely, utterly different experience than your first watch was. Which is why it's one of the cases I have for the biggest thing of don't tell me spoilers and don't tell me science makes spoilers better, because it would rob me of that watch that I would view as Caleb, the character Caleb in the movie. The second watch, I certainly viewed it as Jonah in that, and it's a great movie. I could go on about it, but it's like you said, it's like Moon, where it's one of those where it's really smart and it's really, really well performed and scored, and you just watch it and you're like, man, everybody needs to see this movie. Like, I want to shake people and be like, go see this movie.
Yeah.
And it's on Amazon Prime for free, so if you got Amazon Prime, fucking watch it, people.
Yeah. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it feels like, Fury Road obviously is going to stand the test of time. Star Wars, we're never going to stop talking about Star Wars. I think this is going to be one of those movies that, much like Moon, might kind of fade away, and then people are going to rediscover it in 10, 15 years, and they're going to be like, holy shit, where was this? Like, why wasn't everyone talking about this movie when it came out? And
Did Moon have buzz about it when it came out? Did it even have buzz about it when it came out on Blu-ray?
Yeah, it did by then.
It felt like it just kind of just kind of floated along. And Ex Machina is the same way. Like, I heard a little bit of it. I saw it was in theaters, and that's about it.
There was a strong marketing push for it.
Was there? I thought they really just slapped that poster up because they were like, well, look, she's pretty and she's robot-y and people like pretty robots.
Unlike two of the podcasts I listened to, they'd actually bought advertising. So, I mean, it was...
Okay.
They were making an effort, some sort of targeting.
But I mean, no offense to us and the rest of our compatriots, that's some pretty weak-ass marketing.
No, but
I mean, unless you're fucking advertising on cereal, that's some weak-ass marketing. You're not hitting a very broad base. You're going with a very targeted market of nerds.
Yeah.
I say that lovingly because we are one, and we appreciate you other nerds out there.
If you're podcast advertising, it's entirely possible that you're using the power of a podcast advertising network.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think that movie was like kind of resting on its laurels of like, we know we made a good movie. Look, the poster, that looks interesting. We can say from the writer of 28 Days Later, you saw that movie, you liked it, right?
Yeah.
And like, those kind of things, and it's just like, it was kind of like, yeah, we made a good movie. See it if you want to, because it's good.
See it if you want to.
No, I think they were. I mean, I remember that being one of those, like, some people went and saw it in opening week because I think they were dedicated enough to like the idea of Alex Garland writing and directing a movie, and then it was like there was a groundswell of like people talking about like, oh shit, I was not expecting that movie.
Didn't Jay from California call us?
Oh, I think several people did,
and being like,
just like,
dude,
yeah,
this movie just blew my mind, and it kind of does.
Yeah,
yeah, but it really, I think it's one that will stand the test of time.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I love Sunshine. I've defended Sunshine many a time, but like, this is the kind of movie, like, even though I love the whole entirety of that movie and I can apologize for the third act, this is a movie I make no qualms. I'm like, if you find something flawed in this, you're looking, you're
the flaw.
Yeah, you're Neil Tyson in it or something, because like you're just like looking for something to be wrong with it. Because like, I will admit there's problems with third act of Sunshine, but I adore the movie on a whole still.
Yeah,
this is like just a masterpiece.
That's a pretty good list, everybody.
Yeah, and interestingly diverse. I like that we're not all like in lockstep with each other this year.
I guess
speaking of lockstep, does that begs the question: what is our Golden Jocks unanimous?
I think
movie of the year.
Number position wise, it has to be Mad Max. I mean, we had two number twos. You had it number two, and you had it number one. That's the only thing that comes close to a consensus. I think
it's pretty close.
Yeah,
it's not a. It's funny because Mad Max, like Fury Road, is our kind of movie as BMFcast style. Like, it's got a lot of those things that we love. It's got car chases, explosions, gorgeous scenery, good fist fights, gun stuff, some scantily clad women, but it's also an amazing movie. It's an amazing film. I would venture to put it in the film category. So it's kind of amazing that way, and it's nice that it works out that it's our Golden Jocks pick of the year, Mad Max Fury Road.
Congratulations.
Congratulations for winning a very small award in a very large field.
Yeah, but we're recognizing it where crap things like the Oscars won't, and it should be.
Yeah, true.
At least for fucking cinematography.
Yeah.
But like,
Have you seen any other movies this year shot in like HDR? No. But that's the fucking future, and you're going to look back on Mad Max Fury Road and feel pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
'Cause that's all it's been at CES this year is like, look at all these cameras with crazy high frame rate HDR shit.
Yeah.
That's the future.
Yeah.
So Mad Max will be that movie, I think, one day where people are like, oh yeah, they did that first, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
I'd be curious to see if it gets nominated for cinematography,
Maybe.
because I'm pretty sure Sicario will.
it's so gorgeous. I would find it hard, and
It's the Oscars. I mean,
for them to like, just to be able to shoot stuff like that. And I know it's digital compositing to put the giant sandstorm in front of them, but that shot, that 6 miles away shot of them driving into this, just fucking gorgeous. And all of the practical things that they did to shoot that movie and make it look as good as it is for a bunch of cars crashing in the desert.
I mean, I think they've established
Outstanding.
at this point that they accept completely computer-generated scenery as cinematography. Didn't we have this argument like a year or two ago? There was like some totally CG movie that was
That
up for
beat
best.
Skyfall.
Yeah, whatever was up for best cinematography.
Yeah.
Was it Life of Pi or?
I think it probably was, because Life of Pi is like 90% CG.
Yeah, and there was that big argument of, well, now wait a minute, all this was composited in
Yeah.
computer. How can that be cinematography? And it's like, well, that's what it is now.
Yeah,
So,
and I can't remember. It was whatever movie beat Skyfall.
Yeah.
For best cinematography, we were like, what?
yeah,
Because it was mostly CG, and I can't remember the movie now. But
yeah.
Yep.
Eh,
Oh well.
such is life. But
All right.
That's good news now for Mad Max. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess some quick contact information, and let's get the hell out of here.
BMFcast.com. Check out the buttons on the right-hand side. BMF at BMFcast.com. 9105-JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263. Let us know how wrong we aren't. Because we're fucking right. I think we...
Yeah.
There are no
And we
stinkers
are-
except for Chuck's number 5,
Oh,
which is Chuck Fine.
documentaries.
It's Chuck 5.
Chuck 5. Do 5.
Fuck everybody.
and if you send us emails or voicemails, we'll get to them next week.
Yep, next week when we won't be doing important Golden Jocks.
Nah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. Happy 2016, motherfuckers.
Yeah, bitches.
Yeah, bitches.
Right.
I will say, in like a non-pandering way at all, that 2015 is a pretty amazing year for not only strong. I was actually slightly kidding with my number 5, but like female characters in general, just actresses. Holy shit, this year have been given like real fucking roles, and it's been impressive
Yeah.
as hell.
I-
Like it's like between Furiosa and Ray, and I don't remember Alicia Vindicar's name in Ex Machina,
Yeah.
but
And Emily Blunt in Sicario.
well,
too.
Emily, I will give it up. Like that's a hell of a role to be given. And then like what's her name in Rogue Nation? Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah.
Like she's fantastic. I mean, it's just like this year has just been like just amazing.
I'm impressed that there are 2 seriously strong and competent and amazing female characters in the lead role of 2 enormous movies this year, Mad Max and Star Wars.
And I mean, there's a lot of arguing about what happens to her along the way, but like Bryce Dallas Howard, I think it's the best hero shot of the year.
yeah.
Like in Jurassic World, I keep wanting to say Lost World because I think it's been around a lot longer.
thing.
Yeah, but yeah,
And yeah, she's
I'm not pandering. Like I said, I just
Yeah.
like this year. I just was reflecting on that. I was looking at my list,
No,
sort of,
and
and I
it's-
was like, "Shit, that's like how many?" And like I can't remember her name. It just blanked on me. But like the girl in It Follows is really good too. And like there's so much on my list. And I mean, he mentioned the lesbian character in Dope, and she's fantastic too. It's just like so many good ones this year. So it's nice.
representation matters. It matters a lot to people. Yeah. It matters a lot to growing up with confidence and to help shake off that sort of casual racism and sexism. Seeing somebody like you on screen doing cool things is a big deal to both adults and especially kids with their crazy little developing brains. And to see strong women and strong people of color, like Star Wars, the biggest fucking movie of the year, the three leads, at least two of the three leading characters. You got three main named characters, Poe, Finn, and Rey, to be a I think Oscar Isaac is Hispanic of some sort. I don't know what he is.
He plays that a lot. I honestly don't know.
But
he might be like Lou Diamond Phillips. Like he might be like a little bit of everything or something.
So I'm going to apologize for not exactly knowing his ethnicity, but Finn is a black man, and then we've got no kidding. And then
I hadn't noticed
Rey
that.
is a woman, and then Captain Phasma, a female fucking badass head of the stormtroopers. Like that is, it's so amazingly important, I think, for big blockbuster movies to take to do those sorts of things. And like there's been for a long time there's been a backlash of like, those people of color or women can't carry blockbuster movies, and that's so abominably false. And I think this year in movies has helped prove that, and I think that's really it's a really good step forward and really important for movies going forward.
Oscar Isaac, just to clear the air, he's Guatemalan/Cuban, and his grandfather was of a French origin, so he's got he's not quite to the Lou Diamond Phillips level, but
he's
got a little mix. I mean, Lou Diamond Phillips is literally like when all the races will just mix, they will be Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah,
everybody's going to look like Lou Diamond Phillips.
It's going to be great.
I mean, think about it. The Force Awakens, the trio of actors who are going to be carrying that series forward, are none of them are a white dude,
except for the bad guy.
Well, I mean the three, the three hero characters.
I know, yeah,
and that is the top grossing movie of all time.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's
that's
going to matter a lot for a lot of little kids.
Yeah, and I'll even say like a movie, and we'll talk about it more. We'll go through all the movies that didn't make the list next week because I watched a ton.
Yeah,
of
I have
garbage.
some more to talk about that.
But like even a movie that so misses the mark, like Tomorrowland, has a strong female character in it. Like it's that, like the George Clooney lead in that movie is barely a character. He's just sort of like there because they needed a name for the movie. But like the female character as written is like, this is a pretty good character. Holy God, that movie's a mess. How did they fuck that up? They fucked it up so bad.
Haven't seen it yet.
Spectacularly bad.
And
I still need to get around to watching it.
It's one of those movies you need to see because it's like, how did they fuck this up? So, we'll hear about more of that next week.
Yeah. Also, thank the Fast and Furious movies for a diverse cast.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're the ones that kind of proved, hey, if you do this, you're going to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
well, you still had your lead is still like you have a diverse cast, but your lead, your main hero dude, is still white ass Paul Walker.
Not anymore.
Not
Well, I was
anymore.
going to say, I always thought Diesel was the lead, and I don't know what Vin Diesel is.
No.
No, I don't know.
But the thing is,
I'm saying I don't know his origin at all.
Those movies didn't really go nuts until they introduced everybody else and made them main characters again.
But also another thing that you can give the Fast Five movies acclaim for.
The fucking Rock.
Well, that
shooting a fucking minigun.
Yes, well, sure, okay, but no, just sort of taking over for where the Bond movies quit, which is basically hopping all over the goddamn globe instead of just filming in New York City like every movie has done for the last 30 years. Now movies are starting to realize, hey, if we go over here and do a 20-minute scene here, that movie will make a lot of money in that country.
Sadly, you can thank Transformers for that.
Well,
because they set scenes in China specifically for that reason.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about Rogue Nation. Holy shit, there are so many production companies listed at the beginning. They're all just like China's National Partners 101 and
Well, I mean, all right. So
Alibaba Pictures.
you were talking about, not to go back to the Fast and Furious thing, but like you were talking about Vin Diesel, Paul Walker combo, like leading the charge. But like really, when the movies got good and start making a shitload of money, is when you had the diverse cast.
Yeah.
I mean, when you added in Han and you had Ludacris and I mean, you got Gal Gadot and like I mean, it's just like and you've got the Samoan Rock Man in there. It's like it's like
that's the worst Mega Man.
yeah, what I'm saying. I'm just like that's when it was like, oh shit, yeah, something for everybody. Let's go kick some ass.
Yeah.
And they yanked Jim from the theater fast. Like, by the way, live stream chat people.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Who won?
Yeah, Jim.
Oh yeah.
That made it like 6 hours in the theaters before they yanked it.
Why just like not selling any tickets?
It was making so
Huge.
much no money that they were just like, we're losing money making it.
Huge, like basically huge backlash because what they did was they wrote some other fucking movie.
Yeah.
They bought the Gem license and just stamped Gem on top of it.
Yeah.
And
So they
people-
just bedazzled another script, is what you're saying,
right? All the people that
Josie
they
and the Pussycats without any of the cleverness that movie had, because it's the exact same premise.
and they the money for a Gem movie is in the nostalgia, and when you don't give anybody anything that's any of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
You get what you got. You get the money that you made on that, which is negative millions of dollars. So,
They knew they had nothing, and they were like, "We've got this license."
but why not like?
No one was thinking, "Let's make a Gem and the Holograms movie." No one was thinking that. It was, "We've got this shit script. We've got a license. What if we put them both together? Maybe it'll be okay here." No one's in touch with the
But
Gem
nobody-
Holograms fandom. I mean, no one knows.
All you have to do, all you have to do, like, to be fair, like, look at, it's a 80s, 90s kid thing. You know that there's some sort of juice behind it. If you're going to cash in, make sure that you cash in at least fairly correctly. You can't, like,
Look,
it's a bad decision making process that came to that came out of.
I will say, I mean, I had my Jim and the Holograms movie script, but it was shelved behind my Snorks and Shirt Tails scripts. But that's that's just my own personal need to see on the big screen.
But there's money to be made, I think, in a Jim and the Holograms movie.
There's not now.
Not for a
no
few
way to
years.
do it.
No.
Anyway, we need to wrap up. We've got to
Yep.
close down.
I'm Harlow. I'm Mackie. I'm BJ, and I'm Chuck. This is BMFcast
You
out.
are BJ. We are out again. The live stream out, I should say.
Thanks for sticking around to talk about
Ladies.
representation and intersectionality.
Talk about ladies.
Yeah. You know us, we like to talk about the
Ladies.
ladies.
How to make it creepy.
You don't need to be that.
Try to make a good point and then end it with ladies. All right, goodbye.
Never say anything lascivious.
Bullshit. You are Captain Lascivious.